I do have other questions here which I have to find. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's
Hi
just
guys, it's so nice to meet you all. I'm so excited that you all came. That's a lot of people. I didn't expect that many students in this. So
yeah,
it's really nice to see so many faces. And Jim already sent me some of your work, so I was reviewing some of that yesterday and just, getting the hang of what you guys been up to before I join. And
yeah,
yeah. So I can I'm sure you guys stalk me a little bit. Some of you probably stalk me a little bit on social media or like my website. But I can introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my story. And so yeah. So okay, so pretty much hi, I'm Melody. I'm a character designer. I've been working in animation for I don't know, the past like 10 years already. It's been a long time. Time goes by so quickly. I can't believe it's been 10 years already. But yeah, so I went to school and studied illustration first. I was very interested in character design, illustration, and just graphic art in general. I didn't really have a clear path on what I wanted to do. And then I got a degree, bachelor degree in illustration. And I bef I used to live in Venezuela, actually, in Caracas. And over there, there's not a lot of there's no animation industry, there's no game industry. At the time, everything was like that job was like non-existent. It was very new. I had no idea. Like I never met anybody that had like that path or that career in my life. I had nobody that to guide me to like make things easier for me or it was a big unknown. Just knew that I wanted to do animation eventually, but I didn't know how to or when or nothing like that. So I work in advertisement a lot for the first couple of jobs that I had. I work in games back in the day. I look very young, but I'm a little older than you guys. So back in the day, like the internet was all full of like games on websites. So everybody was just like spending all this money on making the coolest website possible. And I did a lot of that. So it's like a lot of websites, like and a lot of games, little games for companies like Oreo, Pantene, like random things like that and advertisements. So that was really fun. But then I reached a cap. I feel like I was really bored and I just grew up really quickly and I was really tired of like just selling products and working in advertising. So it's like, okay, I want to go give it a shot, like and go to LA and see if I can like become a character designer. So I don't come from like a very wealthy family, so like looking at my options, like moving to LA, they were limited. So I also did not want to get myself into a huge amount of that. So I was like, okay, what is out there I can do? And then I found this amazing school called Concept Design Academy. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. Have, have you guys heard of Concept Design Academy in Pasadena? No? Yeah? I see some faces
No.
saying yeah. Okay, great. Well, that school is epic and I will forever be grateful for them and I recommend it because it's really an amazing way to like do extra classes. So if you guys are taking these classes here at university, but you can also like on your free time or if you want to spend more money or invest in yourself, uh I recommend also like taking extra classes whenever you see online and with people that you admire their work that also do the same thing that you want to do. So Concept Design Academy to me like opened my eyes and teach me everything I know. Like this to this day, I'm forever grateful for that school. And they were like incredible. I got to work and learn from like the teachers that I have admired that work in the industry, like like Kevin Chen and like all this like amazing like there's like a million that I can name, but I don't like name dropping that much, but it's pretty much like all these amazing teachers that I admire so much for a long time, and then I had the opportunity to learn from them and to meet them and to establish a relationship with them, and that really opened the doors for me as a like an immigrant and like a person from out of LA. That had no connections and no family, nobody I really knew from here. So that was key for like the beginning of my career to like start a network and meet everyone that I can and learn from the people that I admire. So that's how I started. And then to keep things moving and to like trying to find my way inside the industry was a bit harder, but definitely going to conventions help. I'm sure you guys know have heard about CTN and Livebox Expo and all those animation conventions that we have in LA. Like we are so lucky that all those things happen here. And all those conventions actually really help with networking and putting yourself out there so you can like table, you can get portfolio reviews, you can do like a lot of things in those conventions. So those really helped me for sure. And then I met this guy, one of these conventions, actually at CTN, and he was executive on the Disney Junior side of television. So he really liked my work. My work was very targeted to like junior shows, like everything that I draw at that moment was like very cute, very like stylized characters, like so it seemed like a good fit for me to start within the junior side of TV and he loved my work and he gave me my first opportunity by connecting me with this small studio called Wild Canary and they were at the time looking for character designers and illustrators that could like pretty much turn a whole TV show into an illustration book or like a picture book. So it's kind of weird because they kind of hire you to like draw an episode or like a yeah an entire episode like a picture book so they can do testing in like actual rooms with kids and like they will read the story to kids and then take notes on how they interact with the story, how they relate to the characters, and then determine if the show is gonna be a hit or not, or like if it's worth like continuing with the process at that point. So it's a good exercise. So it's hard to do those in the beginning at that studio. And then character design position opened up, thank God. And then I got to like work as a character designer on this show called Puppy Dog Pals. I don't know if you've ever heard about it. It's very cute, very charming. If you like pets, cats and dogs or any animals, like you will love it. And kids loved it. It was very successful. I think they run until like season 5 or 6. I was only there until season 3. And then I got a really good opportunity to go work for Warner Brothers on Aquaman, and it was called King of Atlantis. So it was a really fun show. It's the same people that did Thundercats Roar, I think. What's the name of that one? And it was a very, again, very cute, very stylish show, very fun. The studio is amazing. Like to work at Warner Brothers, like it was a dream come true. And the people that were on my team were incredible. So I think that's something that I recommend you guys do too. It's like make connections with the people you work with, like build friendships is even now in school, like make friends with your classmates and make sure like that you support each other during this process because you're all like going through the same thing and nothing better to relate to, talk to, and like learn from than your other classmates and the people that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, because you never know, like maybe like Sharon or uh Nikki will like all of a sudden get hired at Pixar, and then you guys like already have a connection at Pixar because you have built a relationship with them in school. So that's pretty much how like the industry moves around and how things work, and how I managed to work in animation and become a character designer. So hopefully that's like gives you guys a sense of like what you can do. And that was my path, but everybody's path is different. So it's always good to like hear what people went through and to compare a little bit what you're going through. But everybody's path is different. So you will definitely make it work. You will see.
Yeah. Yeah, it does take a lot of time and and yeah, that's the one thing, if you're kind of shy or something, you don't want to talk to people. I mean, it is hard. You do have to get out there. You don't have to be in someone's face, which is the opposite. But you do need to kind of get to know like who does what, and and I always tell students just, there's someone in this class, maybe not in your class, but in another class or something. Because I went to school in Chicago, and one of the students was, oh, this guy named Gendy Tartakovsky. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he was like a student, and I was the TA in the class. I was like helping the instructor, like he'd tell me to go make copies or something. I'd go do that. But he was in that class, and it's like, years later, and there was another guy named Spike Brandt, which I actually know his real name, which is Chris. He does all these Looney Tune, all the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, he's in charge of all that stuff now. So yeah, you never know who you're going to meet. So anyway, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad, how's the character design business going so far?
Well, as you know, everything in the world right now is very slow. So
Mm,
also we like animation has been very affected by it. I'm sure you've seen it from everybody that you follow on Instagram, how everybody's complaining online and making this post about like available for work, available for work. So it's definitely slower than other years, but we also have to remember like the boom of the pandemic was really like intense, and we were just blessed to have all this work during the pandemic when everybody was like unemployed and like stuck at home. So I feel like it's a wave, and right now we're riding the bad side of the wave, but eventually we'll pick up, I'm sure, because kids are not gonna stop watching animation and
mm,
movies and TV will still be around. We just have to
yeah.
figure out different ways how to make them.
Yeah. And there is a way, because it started back when I was getting out of college. It just kind of went down, and then and then it
It's
came
always like
up.
that.
Right. It's like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
it's not you. It's, just keep doing
It's
what you're
just the way
doing.
the world works, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have friends, Jim, like that work at Classy Chupo. Like I had a lot of friends, like coworkers that work at Classy Chupo, and that's the studio that built like the Rugrats and Monsters, like That's So Ginger. All those shows like Rocket Power, I think they also make. I'm not sure. But they make all these amazing shows that I grew up with. I grew up watching it, and then that studio closed, and all of them were like unemployed for a while, and they had to like then make it work in other places in other studios, and it's always like a wave. So like knowing other coworkers that have been through the industry or like working in the industry for many like way more years than I have, that you learn that's just the way it is. Same with Disney, like like the big Disney was it the strike they had, like the workers had to strike for a while. Like it's all a wave when you go visit the studio. I'm sure you all will eventually go get to visit Disney, the Disney building. You get to see how it's a wave for them too. When they started the studio, they were doing okay, and then like the big boom of like Snow White, and then all those other movies like they didn't like do so well, and then they almost closed the entire thing down. And then
Yeah.
like 3D animation like started and it brought everything back up there. So it's definitely a wave. So we'll see how this one rides, and we just have to be patient and just keep creating and just keep learning and evolving with everything, just how it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it is. So, would you like to start digging into looking at these different character designs, or do you want to hear answer a few questions first, or how would you like to do that?
Yeah, we could like if you guys have any questions for whatever like my journey has been, that'll be great. So that way we can like if you have questions about that, and we can do that now and then move forward
Yeah,
with the
I
project.
got a couple here.
Okay.
It says, what kind of artwork is essential for a character designer's portfolio?
So characters.
Yeah,
So pretty much
artwork.
like
Yeah,
pretty much lots of like variations of characters. Like you wanna be able to show that you can work in a production, right? So that's really hard when you have are just starting, because I feel like you go to school, and in school like they don't necessarily create like a clear path, like pipeline of how it is at work. So I think knowing like being a little bit of like ask a lot of questions and like do a lot of research online on how it actually is to work on a pipeline. There's so much information online, or you ask your teachers that have worked in animation. So pretty much like you have to have all these things in your portfolio, all these characters that you can show like the people that are gonna hire you, that are gonna be valuable for them, right? And that you can like know, like you know the pipeline, and you know each step of the animation process, so you can help each department and not make their life harder. So let's say you are gonna work for a 3D show. You need to know how the whole process of creating the character in 3D is gonna it's gonna be. So that way when the your time on the show, or your assignment is done, the next person that's gonna get your assignment is gonna have an easier time, like if you do your thing right, right? So it's just pretty much a really group, like a big group effort, and you have to be very considerate of other teams and other people are on the pipeline. So that's very helpful. Another thing that's very helpful is like having a lot of range in your portfolio, right? So like we can like if you want to work, let's say on like a junior show like I did in the beginning, you want to have things that look like they belong in a junior show in your portfolio, because you that way like the people are going to hire are going to be like, oh, she's great, she'll be great for this, like we're like it's very close to the look and the style we want to do, and I bet she could do it, because you're already targeting yourself to those people. You gonna want to like make your portfolio like tailor it to the job that you want to have. Like if you want to work for Disney and you draw like like a bunch of art like for Arcane, of course you're not gonna get like Disney's interest, because your art style is like made for the game industry. So you're just gonna get the gaming industry interested in your portfolio. And if you don't want that, you just have to tailor it to the whatever job is it that you want. So I think it's important to do that, but also in to have that, but kind of make it your own. Because
Right.
if you just like, oh yeah, I love video games, I'm just gonna like start drawing and all these characters that are like very similar to the games that I like to play, that's good. But if you're gonna do that, do it with your own point of view, right? Like, oh, I love games, but I also like my heritage is this, and like my family came from this, and I'm gonna make characters in that style with that heritage, and things like that too are more unique to you, that you can like show your own personality and your own ideas within those guidelines for those positions. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're going, yeah, like you said that's a good example with the arcane. If you're showing that type of style and you're going for a, as you said, junior, I guess junior means little kid show. Is that what that means?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
junior's like
okay.
junior, like kid,
Yeah,
like
so you're not going to show like something from arcane to, like the little kids. I mean, it's yeah, that would scare them and they would be like, ah, so yeah.
No,
So
I mean the job, you're not gonna get the job, because you're like that's not necessarily the type of design aesthetic that they're looking for. So you're just making your life harder if you're applying for those jobs. That's what I mean. You want to tailor it for the job that you want to get, and then apply for that job, and that way they're like, okay, we know what she does, we know that she's a good fit, and then it makes your life easier.
yeah. And I think usually on the job post or something, if you get a job lead or something, you want to just make sure you read what they're looking for because you don't want to show too many variety of things because then that I think that kind of confuses them. In my experience, it's always confused them where you're trying to show animation and they're like, no, we don't want that type. We want this other kind. So yeah, it's one of those things you just don't want to show too much just enough, I guess, so they kind of get an idea of what, and if they do want to see more, then they could probably, contact you and you could show them more and all that. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna start just by, I think we'll have enough time at the end to ask questions. I want to get, I want to show you
Okay.
some of this
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
artwork.
Let's go.
Okay. So the main thing here was just to, like I said before, is just everybody got a script they have a choice of which script they want to use, and it's difficult because we've all seen these movies or scripts, and
Hmm.
so what they had to do is actually kind of come up with their own design. And so this one is we're going to go with Jamie first. So let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at here. And yeah, there it is. So, and Jamie, if you're there, you can ask a question as we go along, or whatever you want to say. So everyone
I
gets.
think I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, no problem. And if you want to say anything, it's okay. So this is the everyone starts off with the three-quarter front view and side view, back view of your character. And so I think I've got this. Let me make sure I get this working here. Okay, so this is kind of yeah, let me see. This is, where am I? Oh, here it is. Hold on. Okay, so let's start with the rough one. Oh, okay, we're going up. Okay, so this would be kind of going backwards like that. Okay, so this is kind of we've got some action poses. So again, this one isn't quite finished because I've asked everyone to do like an action pose of like, 4 to 5 different poses of a character doing, standing or sitting, but something that
Hmm.
happens in the film. So this is just I think Jamie's got a couple here that she's going to add some more to later.
Hmm.
And then we got this one. This is the expressions. So this is this is something also I think you'd probably put like the word expression here. So, they can look and say, oh yeah, this is the character in different facial expressions or emotions. And I've asked everyone to like, type out their description because sometimes when you write it, it just looks, depending on your handwriting, sometimes it looks a little, throws people off or they can't read it or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, but I'll just go through this one. And if you want to make any comments about this at all, if you,
Um,
yeah,
I did write the
yeah.
expressions, but I guess I didn't change it. I
Okay.
have
Well,
it on my
again,
file, but
yeah, we'll do it on the final. That's okay. And then I gotta do this, I have to go up and down like this. And so this was the orthographic view turnaround. So you can
Hmm.
see the character from front, side view, back view, and three-quarter back, no three-quarter, sorry. The other side view. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, I'll just flip through these and yeah, Melanie, if you have any comments at all, let me know.
Yeah. So you guys had to like grab had a script, right? Or like,
Mm-hmm.
but it was from
Yeah,
like a movie that is already like out there.
right.
And
Yeah,
then and then you had to pick one character from the script and
right.
and then designed it.
Yes.
And then did they have to like design it with like a specific intent, or it was like free for everyone to interpret?
It was pretty much, yeah, as long as it was, kind of whatever the description in the script, was
Hmm.
talking about. But I mean, if they wanted to add anything, I mean, Geppetto here is supposed to be an old guy,
Hmm.
but he's not going to, you know, we didn't want anyone to just come up with a different design completely. Like, oh,
Hmm.
I think I'll put him in space. I'll put him in a spacesuit
Okay.
and all that,
Okay. So it
So,
has to stay
but
within the same lines of like guidelines of the movie, like the very tight to the script. But
yeah,
I'm just asking because I'm just curious about like this style choice that you guys pick for each thing, right? Because like the original movie is like a little bit more cartoony. This one feels a bit more realistic. Like
Hmm.
So just trying to like get an idea on like what kind of movie you wanted to create with this design choice.
Yeah, I don't, it was just, yeah, it was kind of like they got that freedom. So I don't
Okay.
want everyone to be, just go watch
No,
Guillermo
I
del
know.
Toro's film and make the same thing. But yeah,
I
just
know.
kind of come up with something. Yeah.
I'm just,
So,
I guess I'm asking whoever made this project to let me know what was the intent of the design choice for like the target audience because, right, like you got the script and in your head, like, do you wanted it to feel a bit more mature than the original interpretation of the film? Did you want it to like make it like an anime? Like, I feel like I'm just like, I want to know what's the intent for the design choices, a little bit more.
okay.
Yes. So it was supposed to be like slightly on the more mature side. Um, so that's why like I also made the character look more like human. So like he had like some more proper proportions compared to like
Hmm.
having like super long legs or something
Hmm.
like that. So I tried keeping it in proportion.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm asking because of that. I can see that it's like the proportions are very realistic. It kind of reminds me of like anime style because of the hair, the style of the hair, the style of like you're trying to like make those expressions that you see like more in anime, like the eyes, the shape of the eyes, the way you draw the tears. It kind of makes me think of like a Miyazaki movie too, like it
Mhm.
kind of feels like we're turning that Geppetto character and that vision of that story into more of like a Ghibli movie, like a more realistic, mature Ghibli movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, actually he called and he wants you to give him a call there, Jamie. So Tokyo, he said he's going to bed now, so maybe next over the break you can give him a call.
Okay.
So no, but no, okay. So as far as like I guess we'll just go to the next one and we'll just yeah, go from there. Again, anybody that yeah, so this is a little bit longer. This is kind of like the beginning of I think this is yeah, see, this is where I'm not sure what this is. This is Giselle, I think this is the dad from Coraline. And so these are kind of the rough beginnings drawings, trying to see what he looked like, roughed out, and then we're going to these are all rough, it's kind of action poses, seeing him in different poses here. And this is a little bit more cartoony.
Hmm.
Um, let's see, am I gonna mess that up? Let's
I
do
like the
this.
slippers.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got these are this now this looks a little squashed. I'm not sure why it's almost like it got
Hmm. Yeah,
pushed
like
in a
the
little
file
bit.
shrink. Yeah.
Yeah, so might have to fix that one up. But let's see. Okay, so then we got this one. This was the rough of the orthographic view. And then and I think these are more cleaned up, I guess. Yeah, these are the cleanups. So you can see kind of this guy. Again, we kind of want to put this into have a template like the first one, just so it'll look more, you know, the
Hmm.
presentation will look better.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, so anything you want to comment about this is fine. See now, this looks a little squashed too. So,
Yeah. I
so
think
I
these
was,
are good. I like the style that you pick. I think it's just like you have to kind of like keep this structure, like remember the original structure of the body of the design, and then draw on top of that more. So that way you can keep your design on model. Because like if you can tell, like in the ortho, like the hands like feel like very big and very long in comparison to the face, and then the other designs feel a little bit more cartoony, and then in the orthograph, like the turnaround, the character feels a little bit more like elongated and has less volume. Like it lost that little round, like the
hmm.
it lost those nice shapes that you had going on in the original sketches, and now it's just very more like longer and more lean. Like I don't know if you go to
Yeah.
the first sketches.
Yeah. I'm trying to like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you have
Yeah.
some like nice like angular shapes happening and like a very round belly and like he feels more hefty and like a bit it has I can feel more weight in him and I like how you have those like the feet like are bigger and he feels very grounded. His hands are very big in this one too. But I feel like in the turnaround you kind of lost like a bit of that volume. I don't know if it's because it's also very squished out, like the image is
Yeah.
squished in, but I think like with the drawings, like for example, like the back of the head on the side view, the profile view, it's like missing like a bit more volume, and the neck could have been sticking out a bit more, so
Mhm.
like making sure that whenever you're drawing this character multiple in multiple positions and different ways, they stay true to the original design that you had in mind. To make it like that's something that's very important at work is to make everything stay on model. You don't want to get too far off the 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 original designs to I think that's a good note for everybody to just
Yeah.
keep that in mind to like you have to stick to the details of the design and then carry it through the turn, the poses, the expressions.
Mhm. Yeah, that's one thing with drawn animation, it was always a thing is just like you can draw it and animate it, but then you got to make sure it stays on model so
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny doesn't turn into some Buster Bunny or whatever.
Yeah, it's tricky and it takes a long time to master that, but I think if you once you doing these assignments you keep that in mind, it really does help to like have like the model next to you and then keep drawing like all the other poses and having that on to the side to keep as reference is very helpful.
So this is Sharon. So this is a rough of the front view, back view, and I think this is the mom from Coraline. So
Okay.
this is her interpretation of that. And then where's it? Let's go back. So these are some action poses, and yeah, she's looking better there. At one point, she looked very short, and I was trying to figure
Mhm.
out why, and it's because the legs were just a little shorter than the other ones, and it looks like she's fixed it up a little bit now, so they kind of look like the same character throughout.
Mhm.
Let's see. Okay, oops. Okay, let me get that one. So these are the expressions. These are just very rough. Um, and then
Which one's the happy one?
yeah, yeah, I think it might have changed. I hope because yeah, I mean, she kind of looks
Yes,
like
I look
a
very happy.
no, like I don't know. That was my comment too, but let's see. So this was like the orthographic view, kind of seeing her all directions there. And then we get more into looks like we got something here. So there, she's done a cleanup of the actual beginning there. And yeah. So then she's got that, and I think we got one more here. Oh, these are the action poses. Yeah, there they go. Okay. So now she's
Nice.
looking a little bit more like the same person. So
Yes.
yeah.
I like her.
Uh,
She looks cool. I feel like she has an attitude. That's why her happy face I think
yeah.
that's as happy that she gets. Like, I don't think like we'll see her smiling, like, like
Yeah.
super excited. No, I think she's just like a very grumpy girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, in this thing, this one she's got this neck brace in the film, and then I just wanted to have one where she didn't have it, just so you could
Okay.
see. And so she did. She's got that one right there, which works, I think, pretty good. Uh, okay, all
I think
right.
those are looking great. I think there's just a couple of details that I will change in those. Like like remember your tangents when you're cleaning up. You don't want to have like two lines too close to each other that creates tension, and then your eye immediately goes to that. So you're trying to like make
Right.
sure that you have space. So like if you're gonna have the neck brace, like is the chin line gonna be the same as the neck brace? So those little details always help, kind of like edit things up a bit so you get a bit more of a clear design and clean, and instead of having all this tension. So like I'll also try not to like get too close, like for example with the hair, like I'll try not to get too close to the eye because then that creates tension. So if you want to cover eye, then cover half the eye, or like leave the room that we have right in between so you don't create that tension. And it also, it's not like you're right, like when we color this, when you give it to color, let's say you work in a production and you pass this through color, then that person's gonna cover the eye. So it's good, they all wanna like have to remove that line. So
Oh
you have to
yeah.
think about those things, right? When you're passing it on, like if color were to color this, like they will have to delete the lines that you have for the eye and then color that on top. So you kind of want to think about those things too,
Okay.
Yeah.
when you clean up.
Yeah.
And
The one
then,
thing, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, go. No, you go, Jim.
No, you go. No, you go.
Okay.
No, you mentioned tangents, and that's something that I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't, they hear the word, but they don't know what it is. So I always think
Okay.
of it as like something, maybe something's in the background that's like, looks like it's sticking through your head, and you're like, no, it's not supposed to look like that, or something.
So,
Uh,
so tangents are pretty much like anything that creates tension within your
mm,
design, right? Like anything that's too close to each other that shouldn't be that close to each other. That's creating a visual tension. That's a tangent.
mm,
So, so you want to have room for each piece to be its own thing. Kind of think
mm.
about it that way. Uh, think about it like, let me see. Like, mm, what do I have here? Like, it's a good example of a tangent. Mm,
Yeah, this would be a
okay.
good article. You could submit an article to Character Design Magazine quarterly on this one. I bet you come up with something there.
Well, I sometimes talk a bit about tangents in there,
Okay.
but look, this is a good example. So this is a little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bok choy pouch that
Mm-hmm.
I have. So see how like the space between everything has room? You have room in between the cheeks, you have room in between the eyes and the mouth. You have nice, decent space where nothing is just like a tiny bit way too close to each other that are almost touching, but it's not touching. That is a tangent. You don't want to create that
Ah.
tension with anything happening in your design. Same as here. You see how this like proportion right here is a big proportion and this is a smaller proportion. What if I draw this line and pour it really close to the eyes? What does
Yeah.
that give me? A tangent.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a good example of how to do it. Same thing with these like little details here in the top. None of them are almost touching. They all
Mm.
have their space to live
Mm-hmm.
within the room we have here. None of them
Mm.
are like too close to each other or too close to the top or too close to the edge. They all
Mm-hmm.
live within a safe space. That's what it's like, a clear and good design. You don't want anything in here to create tension. And
Right.
that balances things very well and also helps you with appeal, which is a word that I'm sure you guys have heard a bunch, and it
Appeal.
drives you
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Appeal is one of those things that's like, oh, okay, just put some more appeal in that, will you? What
Yeah.
does that mean? I don't know.
And
So,
what's appealing to me is not appealing to you, and so
yeah,
like
right.
it's a complicated word, but it's easy to work around it once you get
Let me,
practice.
all right, I'm sharing the wrong screen now. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get that over there. Okay, here it is. So here's the next one. This is Rachel. There we go. Okay. So, all right. So this is Rachel's. and this again, this is from the Coraline, a lot of Coraline, a lot of Pinocchio. So
Nice.
anyway, so this is a front and back view.
That's the
Oh,
dad from
yeah, it's a
Coraline again.
dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would probably put the name, the name of the in where it says Charlie Jones and this thing, I would put that where Rachel's name is right there. And then at the first box you could put the name of the movie, that this is from. So we know it's Coraline and that's Charlie Jones, 3/4 front view. And then your name could go down below just a little, just enough so we can see it somewhere over here or something, just so we can't steal it and call it our own and all that stuff. But okay, and then we got this one. So this is kind of like yeah, the different action poses here. So again, here would this be something where you would want to spread this out a little bit, Melanie, or would you look at
Yeah, I
this
would
and say,
just give them a bit more room. Like, see how
yeah.
that foot right there, their shoe is creating a bit of a tension with that couch because it's too close to each other. It's almost like it's gonna touch
Hmm.
when he puts his foot down. That
All right.
that's a tangent. So if you spread things a bit but more, I think it will look
Yeah.
better.
So maybe take this guy and put him like over here and put this guy a little over there. You could probably put another character in, another pose in there. The other thing is just making sure you're not all they're not all facing the same direction. So, that's good to show variety of that. How about front on views? Is that a good thing to show if you're to show something?
I don't have an issue with from views actually.
Hmm.
Like if it's not uh until like because some people get really comfortable with like from views, that's the thing, and then so a from view doesn't necessarily indicate much of volume, like when you like are looking at it, you just sometimes it's hard to create volume with the front view, but I like front view sometimes depending on the type of character or the project. I think the issue is when everything's just front. We need to see
Hmm.
that you can draw like all the
Right.
views. So if you
Yeah.
have one front view but like 3/4 views on the back and then everything looks like it holds its volume very well and it keeps the integrity of the design, it's fine. Like
Hmm.
don't really have an issue with front views. I think they're okay as long as you can do all the other ones too.
Yeah. So does this look okay, or would you spread this out a bit? It
Yeah,
looks
I
to
think
me,
it
yeah,
looks really close.
it's
Hmm.
like everybody stay in the center, it's safe there. So yeah, I mean you could take the angry guy and put him over here. You could put the excited guy over here. You can maybe put one in the middle, maybe another one over there. Just use the space a little bit more. Uh yeah, and that's something
You
that you
can
might,
also
yeah.
align things like so they'd say like you have because you have two on top, let's say you have two on top and three on the bottom like you have here, you can do two on top but then align the text, and actually I will just maintain the text the same size because I see angry is a bit bigger and excited is smaller. That kind of sometimes is like a bit like a like too distracting, so you want to keep the text all like for presentation purposes the same size, and if you're
Ah,
gonna put them in a line, make sure the text is aligned with each other and the same road, and then you're drawing on top. So you keep angry and excited, the two this drawings on top, and then on the bottom you can put sad, laughing, and then the designs on top. Like if you put them in a line, just try to align them so it looks uh like a clean presentation.
okay. Yeah, yeah. That's when you said make sure that all the fonts are the same size. I didn't even notice that. I was like, when you said, yeah, angry is bigger than excited, I'm like, damn, you're right. Look at that. So yeah, so she's got that character design eye going, and but that's really good to know. So and then here's this one. So this is the orthographic view. Again, I think you could just increase the size, just scale it up a little bit more. We just don't want the
Hmm.
we don't want his feet to be touching here. We don't want his head touching that line. But just as long as you have some white space around enough there, then we'll be able to see it. Because right now seems like he's a little far away.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Also
yeah,
remember to keep things a model because like this feels like a different design to me. Like if you go back one, Jen,
sure.
please.
Yeah. There.
So see how like you handle the hair on these drawings? Like it's just one big shape that you created with two lines. So I'm just trying to like understand like when you did the turnaround, like is it because you wanted to add more detail or you like what was the thought process in that? Because I definitely like if you do those in the original design, you want to keep the same shape language and the same proportions. So again, like another note of making sure that the character always stays on model regardless of if it's a turn or expressions or stream poses.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
was.
these oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say like during my rough phases, I like did the hair, did the detail in the hair, and then when I was
Okay.
doing the line work, I left it out to simplify it more.
Okay. Cool. So it's still the rough, like the rough version, you
Oh,
still have
that,
to clean
yeah.
up. You still have to clean up there. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so this might have been the rough version.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just make sure whenever you try to keep all the shapes very consistent. That's very important.
He looks very, very expressive in all these now. He doesn't look,
Yeah,
you know, the other one we had.
I really like the angry one that you did. That
Yeah,
one just stands out. It's very good.
Thank you.
yeah. All right. Okay, move on. We go to Toby here. Okay, this might be a little hard to see. Um, so let me ask you, so if you had this in your portfolio, would you prefer seeing something with a white background or with just a darker background with darker
It
background like
depends.
this? Yeah?
It de
Okay.
honestly, it depends. Like that doesn't really matter if it's transmitting the whatever it is that you want to like transmit, right? Like if it's like a darker character and you have it, and then later on, let's say you're gonna paint it and it's like a black background, and then but the colors of the paint, like the character pops out more. That works. It doesn't really matter if it's white or black as long as everything looks good together in your
Mhm.
portfolio. So, for example, like for me, like I sometimes have a hard time when I'm like doing gray background because if I have a project that is gray background, then everything else in my website will have to have a gray background too, or at least another project that has a gray background. So it's like to simplify everything for myself, I like to always gonna use like white, or if I'm gonna use gray, I make sure that I use gray constantly. So just think about like how you want to keep everything in your portfolio kind of cohesive, or if it's gonna be a project that stands out a lot more than all the other projects, keep it the whole project like gray and make, let's say maybe the if the background's gray, you can add some tone into the character. You can paint the like inside of the character white or like a lighter color so they pop a bit more from the gray. So that helps a lot too whenever you're using like a gray background, but it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of being like
Mhm.
strategic and like clean with how that you want everything to look moving forward.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so these are the action poses here. Or I think that's it. Yeah.
This is also the Coraline.
Yeah, this
Like,
is,
who's this?
I know, I know. I mean, I gave everybody 8 scripts
Oh
to,
no, this is Mr. Bobbins.
Bobinski, yeah, yeah.
I don't
So,
remember much about the characters in Coraline. I'm gonna have to look it up. Mr. Bobbins.
yeah, let's see, he's kind of a performer in this, I think,
Yeah, I
yeah, in
remember
this
him.
thing. Yeah. So that's kind of like that one. And then
He's
there's,
the he's the like the guy that works out and has a big belly.
Well,
with a big
I don't
mustache.
know. He looks pretty
He's
fit
just
to me.
described really muscular. They didn't really say
Yeah,
he had a belly in the script, so I just
yeah.
Ah,
made him athletic looking.
Because
okay.
he does look like he's athletic and like it's kind of funny because I think his character is like the athletic, then they put him in this like gym outfit with
Mhm.
combat boots or cowboy boots. And make him really like really funny and skinny and with a belly, so it doesn't really look like he works out.
I like that vibe though. I went from more of a like more mature like spooky version, like scary
Yeah,
version.
I can see. I love it. I like that you like
Thank
pick
you.
like a specific aesthetic and like committed to that, and I really like. I can see that you were very intentional about it, which I really like. I like that you pick really sharp edges, like you like he's like a I don't even necessarily know if it's like bad. I don't remember if he was like a bad guy. Was he a bad guy? It's like it's just
I
a weird dude.
think it's kind of a weird. I think he's just like a grouchy neighbor, but then he gets turned into more of a like whimsical character for a while. And all the Coraline characters have different versions of them, so I just kind of picked the other world version of him, like
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
more
I get
showy one.
yeah, when they turn into like this like kind of upside down world where they have like buttons as eyes. Yeah. Then
Mhm.
in that world it's like a lot creepier, right? So it
Mhm.
makes sense that you went all the way there and I make it really creepy. And I like how you make things like the shape language that you chose is really smart because like choosing things that are like pointy and like uh proportions that are odd. Like it just makes the character feel really unsettling and like it gives you that creepy vibe, which I think it works very well.
Thank you so much.
And you did really good trying to keep him a model. Like I like how
Mhm.
like maybe the side is like a little bit squished.
Oops.
Oh,
Wrong guy. Sorry for that. Oops. There we go. Yeah.
maybe I feel like maybe the side like the head looks a little bit squished. It can have definitely a bit more volume. And you don't really have to draw the mustache. Like if it like from the side, do you really think that the mustache will go all the way back like that?
Hmm.
Or will it just be more like poking out and then like hit maybe halfway through his face? You know, those things like sometimes help a little bit because right now it kind of from the side it looks like a cutting line. So you kind of want to think about also those lines in the profile how they're gonna look and creating tangents. So it's just it's just a long process and being very nitpicky when you're like building everything up. So,
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the mustache. I left the arms out on the side view because I thought it would
mhm.
block most of the legs and the details on the clothing. But if it would be okay for me to leave the mustache out, I feel like it would be fine. Like, should I do that?
So this is my tip. Whenever I run into this kind of situations, I will sketch it out like you did here. And if I feel like something's off, I will grab that copy, put it to the side, and draw it again and see what looks better. You can always tweak it. You can play with it. You can stretch it, squeeze it, like make it longer, make it shorter. Just play with it and see what feels that it reads better and that looks better with the what your model is. Just you have the freedom to just like try a bunch of ways until you find the one that you like. So yeah,
Yeah.
something like that works. Just
That
Yeah. I
makes
you
mean,
know
sense though. Thank you so much.
yeah, there's just a
play
little
with
bit
it.
of a, yeah, maybe just a little bit of a, not as much. You've got it. Yeah, you're kind of going along like the
Yeah,
whole thing.
I
So
Hmm.
stretched it
maybe,
really far
yeah,
back.
maybe it's almost like it's just like a little bit of that, but the rest is like the nose and the his eye,
That
something
makes
like
sense.
that.
I was just scared of making it too small and not having it like match up with the front and back view, but honestly
Yeah,
from the side it makes sense that it would be smaller.
yeah. Well, that's good
But
to know. I mean, you know.
it's good to just try a bunch of ways until you find one that it feels better. Like if something's off, if something feels off, it is
Mhm.
off. like trust your gut, and your instinct, and then just like play with it. It's your project. Just supposed to have fun with it.
Do you have well, working with professionals? I mean, you'll probably put something out there, and then do you get when you get feedback, do they say, "Yeah, I like that one, but I really like this other drawing that you have here. Can we take those eyes and put it on this one instead of what you have there?" I mean, do you get that a lot?
Not really. It depends
Yeah.
on the process. Like it
Yeah.
depends on like what process we're going through and what project,
Hmm.
like the type of project we're designing. Most of the times, if they don't like a version of a character that I did, then they'll just pick a complete different one. And because they like the balance that I achieve with that specific design.
I
Sorry,
see.
you might give me just a second because like someone
Yeah.
is like knocking on my window and I need to make
Uh-oh.
sure that we don't get disturbed. So just
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, well, I'll dance. I'll tap dance. Go ahead. Do a card trick. Gosh. Okay. I've got this deck of cards. Hey, deck of cards. All right. Actually, I do somewhere. By the time I find it, she'll come back. Anyway, yeah, so far so good, you guys.
sorry,
Oh,
it,
all
it was
good?
gonna be quick. So
Oh, okay, good, good.
sorry, the landlord sent like a bunch of workers all of a sudden like today, and they're like pretty much like destroying the entire building and changing all the windows. Like the same day we
Oh,
have this wonderful sim because life is just that way.
okay. All right, we got a question. Phoenix, you had a question? Or are you
Hi, yes.
Douglas?
I have a
Douglas.
question.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there's a way that I can still share my work with you. There was no invitation to do that on the flyer. I don't know if that was. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's any
it's because
feedback.
well, yeah, it's kind of we've got these are all the students from my class.
Oh,
So yeah, but if you want
okay.
to, we can figure out something later, maybe
Okay, I'm so
because
sorry.
yeah, no problem, no
Thank you.
problem. It's all right, no problem. Okay, all right. So let's go on to this one now. Let's see. Okay, this is the one I want to show. Let's see. Am I sharing it now? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so the next one we got Alice here. Okay, and let me get my share my screen again, I guess. Sharing, what's going on here? Okay, hold on a second. Oh yeah, it's way over here. Here we go. Okay, so this is Alice's. Okay, so this was not, I think this is, I can safely say this is not, wasn't, this was, I think, is this Soul? Is this the one that was Soul?
Yes, it should be so,
Okay,
yes.
okay, all right. So we got that one. So yeah, so here are the action poses. You can see that. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll just go through all these and then I can always come back and you can talk about them. Maybe that's the easiest way. So these are some drawings of the character, supposed to be facial expressions. Again, this was the rough drawings first. Okay, here's an orthographic view. And then went into, I guess these might be the cleanups. Okay, so yeah, so now we've got a little bit more. So you can see sad face, amazing, the zone. Okay, he's in the zone because I think that's part of something that's in there. Anyway, happy, upset. Okay, and then
I like
uh,
that in the zone
yeah, in
kind
the
of
zone.
expression.
And so here's the orthographic view. And I think there's one more. Nope, that's it. Okay. So we're still working on that. All right. So I'll start at the beginning here. Go into this one here. So yeah, there's orthographic rough. And then is that the cleanup for this? I don't know. I think it's
So the majority of it is kind of rough. I'm pretty sure you can notice that I have a hard time keeping the model the same.
Hmm.
Like all of these look like different characters to me. Like they all look
Hmm.
very different.
But but in your expression sheet, like I feel like you were really close to it. I think like the face in all of them look very, very similar. Probably like the front view, like the nose changed a lot more
Hmm
than I would like. But in the sad and the happy face, like and the in the zone face, they look like the same person. So you achieve that at least. That they do look like it's the same guy. Is
Hmm.
there some details that you can like push to make it be very, very, very specific and make it better? Yes. But they like in here, it does feel like in the clean, it looks like it is the same guy, which is great. Maybe you lost a bit of volume in the upset and the
hmm
upset
Yeah.
profile. So maybe
Yeah.
we can like sketch that to the side, like do a
hmm
lot of sketches what feels like a better volume, of the back of the head. How like maybe look at a reference, right? Of like how the neck connects in like a real person and then try to make it fit the cartoonier style that you have. Just, always have reference. If something doesn't look good or feels weird, like go back to a reference. It's okay, how does the ear, right, connect with the
hmm
cheek and how it will connect with like the side of the hair and then how the hair connects with the neck and how the neck looks connected to the jaw and all those things. So like going back to a reference if something feels off is also really good. um, but you were really successful, at least in the Gleam. All the other designs are rough, so it's fine. But here you succeeded at making him look like it's the same person, which is really great. And I love that sad face is great. I wish the happy one was a push a bit more.
hmm
So one good tip I always give is that whenever you're gonna do expressions, push them to the limit. Like if it's gonna be sad, make him really sad. Like he's
hmm
depressed, like as hell. Like
Yeah.
sad. And if he's really happy, it's the best day of his life. And how does that look on his face? Like if he's showing teeth, what kind of teeth he has? Is he's missing his front tooth? All those things are like details that just add to the character and tells the audience like who this person is. And it gives it more like dimensions, right? Like, oh, why is he missing a tooth? What happened to him? And then people will just start getting all these questions and become interested in who this person is.
Yeah. And what I don't know if you saw what I'm doing here is I just went up to the zone one, and all I did is I just drew kind of like took half of his face just to see how long it was. And then I
Mm-hmm.
kind of did some rough sketch and then I came back down and put it down here. So
Mm-hmm.
so you can see like, okay, his eyes are there. We got, his brows aren't quite there, but and then just trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out like where his hair is, you know, and just to give it a little bit more so, to improve this one over here. So and see there's like really no ear here, but he's got an ear. So because we see it back there, and then it's just trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out like how his
Hairline.
yeah, his hair does it go like that? He's an older guy, maybe he's losing some of his hair is coming a little bit more back this way, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then figuring out like where his neck is, something like that. And just also he's got a long chin, it's kind of pointy. He's very
Mm-hmm.
pointy chin. So just using that idea in here to see if you can do that and then figure out like, how to make him look like that over here. So yeah, just the ear, sometimes it's like, it's almost like there's a line at the top of the brow for the ear and like maybe
Mm-hmm.
down here is the nose. So you could have that is where the ear is, but it's a rounded thing. And here, this is the only one I thought was a little bit, it kind of got flattened. But I really, yeah, I like these two, and
Mm-hmm.
there's something about this guy's expression I like because he does look pretty sad like,
Yeah.
facially. It's just that, just getting his head shape, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, any of you guys, if you can just even if you're good at with clay modeling, you could make your own maquette, just it doesn't have to be perfect, but you could use that as a way to see it from different dimensions. And then you could draw it. Um, anyway, so okay, so anyway, I'll shut up and do some more stuff here.
Thank
No,
you.
All
you're
right.
good.
Thank you for the
So yeah.
I
feedback.
No worries.
So this was a little bit hard to understand because it also it's almost like one of those optical illusions with his leg here. You see? So it's almost like that bar that goes like this, and you're like, wait, there's two legs or two ones. So yeah, so we want to make sure in this one, and he's supposed to be flat. So we've got the front view, we've got the back view, and then the side view and the side view. So yeah, so we really don't want to see him looking at us. We want to see, like he's looking side view here, and we want to just see him from that view there. So so we might see, one whole leg and maybe another one there, but it's basically a side view. So that's what we're trying to see. This is getting confused. I think because it's this line right here going all the way down, it almost does something to it. I don't know. But anyway,
I think a good example of that, let's say you want to have that leg and you want to have the jean, right? Because that's supposed to be the seam of the jean, right? That extra line that in the middle.
oh, okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
if that's
yeah.
the case, like you want to always keep the volume of everything very tidy. And then once you're gonna do that third line, like the inside seam, just maybe make it a little bit thinner than the line that it's the body of the character. And in just changing just a slightly bit, like the thickness of it, it will indicate that it's like a detail within the outfit instead of, like giving you that weird illusion that you're getting now. So sometimes that does help a lot when you're trying to like create like see how the pockets you did the pockets in the back
Yeah.
like with the
Yeah.
thinner line and that indicates like you can clearly see that those are like pockets. It's not like a hole in the seam, and it's just by changing the thickness of it makes it a bit more readable. But I think for this one, it's important to like remember to keep your guides, right? Like keep the guides so you can like see the proportions of things and keep the proportions the same as you draw. Like so if you check the line, like if you draw a line from the first drawing, uh you can see that the arms are not really in the same place, right? They start going up. When you started drawing it, it just started going up like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
one's higher, one's lower, one's yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And then it gets
definitely.
shorter there.
So if you have
Yeah.
another layer, keep another layer with all your guides, and that way you can always turn them on and off and see where things are placed. So when you move to the next one, it's easier. Also, what I like to do when I turn, which just makes things so much easier, is I like to start with a three-quarter view of my design because that's usually what I start drawing and designing. I design a three-quarter view, get all the shapes and the outfits and everything like very, very clean and detailed. Then once that's set and it's approved and they decide for that character, I get to then turn it. And then I start with a three-quarter view and then I flip it. So I get the opposite side of the three-quarter view. I do the reverse three-quarter view and then do the profile, the front, and the back. So once you have the front, you immediately kind of have the back because the outline of the character from the outside is the same as the front of the back, and you just
Mhm.
edit the back of the side. And it's just kind of cheating it in a way that makes you faster and more efficient because you already have that drawing that you did. If it's solid, you can just grab that, copy it, put it to the side, reduce the opacity, and then you have the line or where everything needs to go. It's right there. The guide where everything needs to go is right there on the other layer. So it's a great way to like keep track of where things need to be and turn things as you go.
Yeah.
Does that make
Those
sense?
lines, yeah, those lines will really help you kind of, yeah, keep everything, his elbows are here, his wrist is there, his hand is this big, and it's throughout, yeah, all that stuff.
The line
So,
helps, but again, if you have a solid three-quarter view
hmm
and you just duplicate that and like reduce the opacity in a different layer, then you can draw on top of that. And I think visually it's easier for you to see where things needs to go and how you can twist things instead of just having those guides. So have the guides and also clone your design and move it and then lower the opacity to come almost kind of like a like like a light box that you're just drawing on top, right?
hmm Okay. So this is an early version of the uh, uh, action poses. So I think you went back and you changed a few of these. So I remember, I thought I saw one of those. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next one. This is
Mm,
Morgan.
okay.
So,
Nice
okay.
job, Alice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oops.
Thanks again for the feedback.
No
All
worries. If you
right.
have any questions, let me know. You can send them on the chat too.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I'll just have like a whole list of questions.
That's all right. That's what it's for. So, okay. So here, just, this is looking pretty good. So we've got the character, we got three-quarter rough, we got front and back pose, we got Guillermo del Toro's name up there, what is the Pinocchio, and so this is the first kind of rough with perspective, and then we go, oh gosh, hold on a second. Too many things. All right, here we go.
You're good.
Yeah, so this is the action poses. So that's better. I remember seeing this before and just saying, just make sure you have enough space in between each pose. So that's
Mm-hmm.
looking better. Uh, okay, and then we go to this number 3. Okay, this is the different expressions. Okay, so see how that template really helps make it, go, okay, this is somebody that's got some work here. All right, let's take a look. So this is the orthographic view.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we got this one. Okay, it's the action poses in just line art.
Mm-hmm.
And did I miss one? I think I missed. Did I miss one? Let's see. So yeah. Okay, so it starts with that one. Okay, so that's the front and back, Geppetto. Then we got the action poses. There he is. Take a little break after all that action. And then
I like the almost drunk kind of pose.
yeah, yeah. So here, so there,
Oh,
that's
those are
looking better.
cute. Those are
Yeah,
very cute. See how like this person kept like everything aligned, like the text is all the same size and it's aligned with each other. And see how much clean, like how clean that looks and how it looks really like really polished. I think that's a good way to set things up for presenting. And also I like how in this image, like in the other slides, the Pinocchio logo was really close to the line,
yeah. I
but
was
it
gonna say
wasn't
that.
touching it, and that
Ah,
drives me insane.
yeah.
Like it's almost touching it, but it's not touching it. That is the
Now
biggest
it's
tension.
touching it.
No, it's not. It's barely
Well,
touching it. If it's zoom in, it has 2 pixels that is not touching.
yeah. On this side, it's okay, but on the P, that P is locked down on that
You
line.
need to have room. Everything needs to have room so your eye doesn't go there. Because that's the first thing. When people open this, that's the
Right,
first thing where their eye is gonna go, and you don't want their eye to go there. You want their eye to go to your drawing and the
right.
charm of the drawing and all the things that you like work so hard to show them instead of like, attention in the presentation.
And that's also make sure you spell it correctly and all that, just to make sure
Yeah.
you don't want to walk
Ask
in
your
there.
friends. Ask your
Yeah,
friends. I triple check this, but if I miss anything, let me know.
yeah. No, that's good to know. So, okay.
Those are cute. I really like those expressions.
There's this
I
one.
like in the turn, like there's one side that it's like the rough, but I like how in the turn you kept the skeleton of the drawing to guide
Mm-hmm.
you, right? To
Right.
like the other views, and that's always really helpful. And I think that help you keep the volume, right, of the
Yeah,
character very
I
close to
got
what
it
it
now.
is.
Yeah, it definitely helped me draw what I really needed to draw, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to keep the skeleton like of the like underneath the shape of it, and then that helps you keep the volume, you know, through all the drawings.
There he is. Yeah. Uh,
I think it's really
um,
cute. I like how like you have like you went more cartoony with like the dot eyes, and it's a little bit more stylized and less realistic than some of the
mhm.
other choices that we've seen in the other drawings, which I think is fun. And I think you just have to add like a bit more detail maybe, or if you want it to be like the in this specific simple style, you want to keep again the volumes very clear, and if it's going to be the simplicity, you want to make sure that everything that is in there it's clear and simple, and everything is put in the right place in a very strategic way. Like if things once the designs are getting very simplistic, we need to make sure that every line feels intentional, that everything that's in there serves its purpose perfectly, right? So, Jim, can you go back to like the other drawing that she has where it's like three-quarter back?
Yeah. See.
So,
Oop.
okay, so right there, like
Mm-hmm.
the also one other thing, just side note that I've noticed in this kind of like exercises is very good to number things or put letters on them. So when I'm gonna give you feedback, I can tell you, oh, on post A or post two, then I can it's easier to like identify which character or like which drawing we're talking about. And then we can explain so it's easier just, to guide you towards what I'm talking about. So right now it's like the second drawing, not the guy that is like painting the doll, but like yeah, perfect. So like B is it looks good. I think maybe like the proportion, like the side of the head, we're seeing it too much side head, and I would like it to be more like three-quarter back. Like I want to see less of his eye. I want to see maybe cheek and beard and eyebrow, like maybe the last of its eyebrow, and not so
Is it?
much like of the nose and the eye, To give him more like he's facing that direction, like he's facing front. And then the lines on his um like the straps, they kind of tended to go a bit more flat in that drawing. Well, if you curve it right here on the shoulder, then it creates that volume, right? That the strap it's going around the shoulder and it's just going straight. Because then that makes it feel that his shoulder it's like almost like this thick, instead of being like this thick, right? So if you curve it a little bit more, that gives you that volume.
Hmm.
And so just try to remember to keep everything kind of like in those guys that you have in the bottom, and everything else following those curves and those lines, right? And that makes it so much easier. Sometimes it's just tricky, but if you follow the volumes of things in your head, if you look at things around you and you see their volume, follow those volumes when you're cleaning up, and everything just looks a lot cleaner and better. It reads a lot better and it's easier to draw in general. That's why I really like that you keep those like the skeleton of the design underneath to keep the volume same.
Yeah, that's good. Also, you can, vary the feet because they look very flat. I mean, it looks pretty
Yeah,
three-dimensional up here, but
yeah.
maybe just have one foot going this way like that, but have
Hmm.
this one kind of like maybe looking towards us a little bit, turn it, tilt it a little bit more. So, so when you put the legs in there, it'll look like he's kind of sitting with one leg, one foot going this way and the other foot kind of coming out at us like that. Um, little
Yeah.
things like that. So, but yeah, okay.
Thank you for the feedback.
It's
Yeah.
good. I really like the faces that you did. The expressions look really cool. I like his hair. I like a lot of the choices that you picked. Like they're fun, and I can see like I can get a little bit of an idea of how you like to draw and
Mhm.
like the reference that you have. So that's good.
And this is from Declan. So he chose Coraline. So again, Declan, just put your name maybe somewhere over here, just out of this big thing here. Uh, and yeah, the name of the character, three-quarter front view and back view. Uh, yeah, okay. So it looks like these are like the cleanups. So he's got that one. Oops, hold on a second. I don't know why this is doing this to me. Of course, it's doing this to me now. There we go. There we go. So this is like the graphic view. Uh, yeah, okay. And then, oops, gotta do that again. Hold on. Oh, man,
This one's very interesting to me because like it's a very simple drawing and somehow that you managed to like keep the volumes very similar and the turn and let me see.
yeah, I mean, I think, in the core line, and this is where, you go look at the original. We don't want to know, pretend like the original doesn't exist. But here I kind of like it because he's taking usually the movie it's like she's a skinny girl and the mom is kind of skinny and dad's skinny but he chose to give her a little weight here to that
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if there's anything in the film that says she's skinny. Uh, was there anything in the description?
No, I think it just said like I don't really think it describes her like body type at all. It just
Yeah,
kind of said like what she wore and that she had like a neck brace and like hair like sort of like that. But
right,
yeah,
right,
no, I mean I love the Coraline movie, so I had like
yeah.
the characters ingrained in my head. So the only way for me to like do something different was just to like completely do like the opposite of what I remember, so I could separate them. Um,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's why I went
yeah.
that route.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I mean, it makes it more interesting than, everybody's doing the same skinny lady or something. And it gives her even more kind of, she's kind of not the most friendliest character at the beginning of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Uh okay. So
I like what you did that design choice of making her bigger because then like you can have a really skinny dad and then so like you create like a lot of contrast right in between both of them and then Coraline is very tiny and they were like they could be big and tall and intimidating and so you decide to make her bigger and heavier like just make her really big and really tall and scary intimidating right like she comes into the room and it shakes and
Hmm.
it's like
uh,
she's coming and then they're just threats.
Yeah, thank you.
my wife's aunt was like this lady, just this big intimidating woman that like, get away from me. Get scared of her. But okay. All right, so let's move on, I guess. Let's see. Gets harder when I do this. Okay. So this is Jean. Jean, are you here? Jean's here. I don't know why, but
I'm here, sorry.
look. Oh, there you are. Okay, great. Okay, I'll put you down. So this is Jean's. So this
Oh,
is this is the
I'm not
mother.
seeing anything.
Not
I'm
you're not
just
seeing
seeing
it.
the.
Okay. Oh,
Wait.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. Let me share this. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. Here's Jean's. So this is the other mother. This is the not the nice. Well, it's not the original Coraline mother. This is the one that we meet when she crawls in there and they find her and all that. These are just the rough kind of sketches, body poses. Sorry, I have to keep going back and forth like this, but it's no fun. All right, here's the other one. So these are the yeah, the expressions, curious, shocked, laughing, disgust, and then let's see. Okay. And this is an orthographic view, the front, side, back, side. I think this is the rough one. And then we're getting to some other ones here. Okay. So that's the cleanup version. So you can see what she looks like. That. Sorry.
Again, it reminds me of Cruella, which I love. I'm obsessed with Cruella, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So you can see a little bit more about. And this is kind of interesting where she took the roughs and just kind of, made them like 20%. So you can still see
Yeah,
those
I like
roughs,
that.
but then we can see the cleanups now. And I know she was working on getting the rest of them done. So
I like how you really push the shapes here and like you really push the poses. They're very extreme, which is fun. It's always fun to see like extreme posing like that. So I think you're like on the right path with them. They're really cute. Like they're not cute, but like
cute.
cool to see like that you're
Right.
pushing yourself to make it like more than your normal average pose, you know?
Mhm. Okay. So I guess these are the final ones. Again, I don't know. I would just maybe I'm feeling that tension right there, maybe that laughing, maybe just move that a little farther up. Or
Yeah,
what would
maybe
you say?
make it smaller and like again if you align things a little bit. I like how like it creates a flow, right? I like how you place them, like creating a circle of flow. That's fine. But yeah, just maybe just the text doesn't need to be this big and in your face because we're focusing on the character. So just make it a bit smaller and like give them more room within the space of the page, to breathe,
Yeah.
and it should be fine. You can keep it like that, but just, make things a bit more tidy. And then for the actual drawings, like I think it looks like her. It's like not getting too off model. Maybe some volumes are getting lost with the laughing one. Um, maybe I'll just draw a bit more more versions of that one. Like try to see how the volume of her head
Yeah.
stays with her big mouth and how it looks inside of it. If you're gonna have that much space in there, you kind of want to see how the volumes are created in there. Um, and just, if it's like kind of three-quarter view of her laughing, how does the side look? It's not that flat, keep volumes. I like the volume that you have in the curious version, like that expression looks very good. Start to keep the same volume when you're looking at it from below. I know it's tricky, but again, if you find that hard, try to find a reference like of that angle on like a photo or like another character, and then see how those volumes are working and implement them in your design.
Yeah. And like what I took away from that is just it's very flat right here,
Yeah,
and
it's
yeah,
just
just
getting
kind of
lost.
round,
Yeah.
yeah, more round. So then you can even push that nose up a little higher. Maybe put those, something like that, so you can see more of it. So it's not just feels like she's flattening it out
Yeah,
like
and I
that.
understand like when you're trying to draw something from the top, those things have to shrink, but sometimes when you draw those things, sometimes the volumes get lost. I understand. It's just
Mhm.
practice and you just have to make sure that you redraw it if it doesn't feel okay.
Yeah, I think I got one more here. Let's see. Yeah, here's the last one here. Yeah, and this is just the final. So again, just shrink her down a little bit so we have some space at the top and space at the
Yeah.
bottom, and but the way all the lines are working and they're all
Yeah, I
lining
think
up.
you did a really great job on this one.
Yeah.
Like it looks really great. I mean, everything looks like it kept its shape, it kept its volume. It's
Mhm.
like the size of the feet are very similar. I think maybe the only thing that I would change is like I can tell that you did that trick that I mentioned of like flipping it, right? You grabbed the front view and then you flipped it to make the back view, and then the 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 feet kind of like look like they're looking, you know, to the front instead of to the back. So that's one thing when you flip it, you have to tweak it a lot more. Is making sure that it looks like it's going away and not coming towards you.
Yeah.
Uh, Other than that, it's very good. It looks clean and it's keeping the volume and the shape, and it's the model of the character that we see and the expressions and the special poses.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
I know Nikki here. So here's Nikki's.
Moving
Okay.
on. So quick.
Sorry.
Okay. No worries.
Next. No,
Next.
no. Try not to be like that, but okay. So this is Coraline as well. So okay. And I'm sorry I have to keep doing this thing like this. I don't know why. I wish I could make this smaller, but I can't. Why it does this.
So
Anyway, yeah, so
this is
these
Coraline.
Coraline, yeah, I believe,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Yes, this is Courtney.
Okay.
And then do you make her more like realistic or like manga? Like it feels like a bit more, it's less, everything you guys are showing me is like way less cartoony than the original, trying, I'm sure it's trying to like stay away from what the original looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is her interpretation of what
Mhm.
she thought Coraline, maybe in her version, this is what she's thinking of.
I like it. It kind of reminds me of a doll, you know? Like
Uh-huh.
were you trying to give that like feel of like she's like a little doll?
Yeah, when we're doing like the research part of the project, I did like use a lot of like dolls for like
Awesome.
examples and reference. Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. So that means that whatever you're doing is reading well.
Yeah, that's looking better. She had a few where it was straight on, it was kind of hard to tell, but here, yeah, she's got these. I can already hear Melanie going, disgust.
Well,
It's really
see,
tiny.
okay, but see, now after today, you all know
Yeah,
what a tangent is. You all
right.
know, like, we have like found so many examples of it, so it
Yeah,
works. That way, now you know.
yeah,
Okay, this is a tangent. I need to stay away from it.
right. That's great. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me jump to the next one here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is she's got actually more of a turnaround drawing as opposed to orthographic view. But this would be something that you would use in character design if you were going to do, start off with the character, three-quarter view, side view, three-quarter back
Hmm.
view, the other three-quarter view, and then
Yeah,
wind up with the front. So,
yeah.
okay.
That's good because like whenever you like work on a project, they just tell you, "Oh, we want a 6 point turn," and then okay, you know exactly what that means. Like,
Okay, so
or
this
they want an 8 point turn, and then you know exactly what that means.
okay. See, these are good lingo to write down. So when you hear that expression, you know exactly what that means. Uh, so okay, and then we got this one. So this is without all the stuff on there. So yeah, okay.
I like her. She's very cute. I think the only thing that got lost a little bit in the turn is the distance of the purse. Because if you can see the 3/4 view, the purse it has a lot of volume, and it looks like it's almost touching the same line at the distance of the skirt, right? The length of the skirt. And then in the 3/4 back, it went up a little bit. So that's the only thing I can see is like a bit off.
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
Um,
see that.
So, yeah, so that's something that, to be aware of. If you're going to do that, just, yeah, bring it down a little bit more. And then just so it all kind of syncs up together. There, I'm not sure well, she's not, in this one, she doesn't have her purse because she left it at home.
She's missing the purse,
Yeah,
which
but
is it's
now she
fine.
does. Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. It kind of seems like if you want to do that, I would just make the front identical with the purse and then have another. You can always have another front view next to it, indicating how she looks without the bag. So let's say if you were like to pass this to modeling, and let's say this project was a CG project, right? You're gonna have to pass this to modeling, and then they have to use your turnaround to build that 3D. So sometimes adding like another view with like a specific element to indicate how that looks like underneath, it's very helpful to the next person that's gonna get your job, like your project, to pass it around. So I like that you have that one version without the bag because I want to see how her dress it interacts with her body without having something across, right? And that's good material, like extra details that you can provide the modeler to make the design better. And that's always helpful. So whatever, like if you get very specific with details, it always helps.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, no worries.
A couple more here, I think. Ooh.
Is that it? Do you have like the
Let me
poses?
see. We got a couple more. Oh, we got a few more. Oh, a lot more. Okay, so let's see. This is Caitlin. So Caitlin, these are the roughs. This is for again. This is the dad. These are roughs. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay. You see if I can fly through this. I don't know why I don't have any tab here. I just have to click on it. So these are the facial expressions. These are roughs.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Another one, another rough orthographic view.
Mm-hmm.
Got those slippers.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You got very realistic in this one.
Yeah. There he is. So this would be kind of the 3/4 cleanup version.
Uh-huh.
Like that. Just kind of go through them. You can make comments or whatever. Let's see. So there you go. So this is definitely, you probably want to, I don't know if you'd put, I guess you wouldn't put any descriptions here.
No, it's okay. I think it just need more room. Like I think they're just so big and like it's again creating all these tangents, being so close to the edge. I think you need to like make them a bit smaller. Also, you guys, the text on top of things doesn't have to be that big. Like you always want your art to stand out, and then all the like details and text and like your name and all those things can be smaller. You really do want your art to be the main focus of like the presentation. Always think about it that way.
So you're saying don't make this so big? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
it
talking
could.
about? These?
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be like it could be the line could be thinner. It could be way smaller, so you have more room for art than
Okay.
like that big text, right?
Right. Okay. It's good to know. All right.
Sometimes what I like to do too is to make it very simple. I just do one line in the bottom. I just draw one line in the bottom to make a template, if that's what you guys want to make a template. Just make
Hmm.
one line in the bottom, and under there you can have everything in there. Someone's not muted.
Uh-oh, somebody mute yourself there.
Miles.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Where's the library book? So okay.
So
So yeah.
as if you make the template simpler, like it just leaves more space for your art, and then you have less issues that way with creating tangents or making things
Mhm.
like too close to the edge. It just feels like there's more room for everything to exist.
Yeah. And like this one, I'd say probably if you're gonna do find the line tool, here it is. So yeah, just make sure that if the line is going through it, it's, you know, he's getting shorter there.
Yeah. I know maybe you feel like he was leaning forward, and that's why like maybe he should have looked like a little bit shorter. Is that what you were thinking about?
So,
Yeah, that
and
was my intention because I want him
yeah,
to like feel like lengthy but also slouchy because he's
Yeah.
described as like always tapping and always on the computer. Like that's his thing. So I wanted
Yeah.
okay.
him to kind of have like a prominent long neck with like a hunchback because that's all he's done. He's hunching and pecking. That's what they describe it, I think. So I
Okay.
wanted to like showcase that in the front view, but I really was struggling with the front and the back, like capturing that S that wasn't a 3/4 or a side. It was
Okay.
really hard. I was trying to use a lot of reference, but I feel like I could still fix it. Like there's a lot of like alterations I could probably do. And then also with the face in the front view, I feel like I struggle, or I'm still struggling with it because I don't feel like it's fitting with the rest of what he looks like on my other pages, where it's like a
Mhm.
totally different character in my view.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get it.
He looks kind of muscular in the front view, you
Okay.
know. Uh, so I'm not sure how you would do it because his neck is so wide there. You know, it's almost like he's a football player. So if he's gonna be maybe make him thinner neck, you know, if you maybe you can I don't know his shoulders or something and just have a little thin neck and then I don't know if you can. Would you make his head bigger maybe so it would feel like it's coming towards you? I don't know. I'm just What do you think, Melody? Is that something you would do or oops? Let me get the
That happens all the time. Wrong
yeah,
layer. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, I think I was just asking the question to understand why like she thought that it needed to be like a little bit lower than the line, but
Yeah.
he's already slouching in all the other views, so it should be the same. I
Hmm.
understand that kind of logic, but it should be the same. And then yeah, if you want to make him look like, sorry about the noise, if you guys can hear anything, like someone's banging like
No, I didn't hear
on
it.
on the ceiling. Okay, good.
Oh no.
So glad you guys don't have to hear it as loud as I do. So if you're gonna like make him like hunch, like very hunch, like try to like exaggerate it a lot, right? If you want him to be like maybe just push it. I wish I could share my screen. So I
Yeah,
have
you
like
can. You can. I can let
so
you share the screen if you want to.
so
Oh, hold on. Let me get over there. All right, I'll unshare my screen. There we go. And then I'll say, you can share your screen. So
okay. So
yeah.
uh, this is like I just want to show you like a real quick example of like exaggerating the whole post and then making
Try to
it
get out of
very
this.
extreme.
Okay.
Let's see.
Should get a thing that says
Yeah, and
here it
no.
is. Here it is.
Did you see it?
Allow you. There, I just allowed you to do it. So now you can
Okay.
share your screen.
Okay, I can see. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. I also made a slide to share with you guys because I was looking at your designs and I feel like I had like some tips for you. So I made like a very short slide to help you guys.
Oh, great.
Um, so I think I'm gonna share this
Yeah,
one.
here it
You see
comes.
it?
Yeah, yep, I see
Okay.
it.
And then this is what I kind of wanted to show you, like a whole like slouching. This is a very silly drawing of myself like slouching because I'm like I've been doing this for a long time and it really takes a toll on your back. So I don't know if you can see it now. Here. Oh, it's not.
Ah, whoops,
It keeps
almost.
going away. It goes away
Oh,
because it's like not fitting the screen. Just a second. Okay, I'm just gonna make it smaller. God, my computer is acting so weird today.
It might not be sharing that screen, so you might have to
I know. No,
unshare
I
and do
know.
it again. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm just trying to like make the slide smaller so it doesn't collapse when I'm trying to switch it
Oh, there
back.
it
Okay,
is.
there you
Yeah,
go. Okay,
yeah. Yeah,
so
I know that position. I know that.
if you
Yeah.
want to really get it there, just take it there, push it farther, like and exaggerate things a lot, and just it just makes things more fun and like and it just the point gets across immediately, instead of doing it like more subtle. That's why,
Hmm.
like, when we do like characters and cartoons, it's just that we have that freedom of like making things super extreme and fun and to make it more funny. So does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Okay.
sense.
Okay. And then this is just a slide that we can talk about it later on. So I'll
Okay.
stop sharing so you can continue seeing yours.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me just go back to this thing again. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, how many do I have? Okay. Keep thinking I'm gonna. Oh, we got a lot here. All right. And now we have like 21. So, okay. So this is Rachel. I think we did Rachel already. Did we do Rachel? No, this is a new one. Okay, this is a different one. Okay, so let me share my screen here and show you what I'm talking about. Here it is. So this is Rachel's. She's still working on this one. Still rough. I'm trying to remember. I think this is not Coraline, right? Is this
No, this is King of the Hill.
Killing of the
This,
Hills?
yeah,
Yeah. So this is so this is
Hank.
Hank. So this is her kind of interpretation of Hank. Uh okay, and then let's see. Oh, back to this again. I wish I could just
I know
scroll
I
down
turned in
easy.
my line art for it too. I don't know if it
Yeah.
appears
Oh,
though.
okay.
Okay.
It might
Yeah,
have
these are
popped
my
off.
roughs.
These are the roughs. Okay. So, okay. Tappity, tappity, tappity. Maybe I can use something else on this.
Yeah, it
Okay.
should
Oh,
be
there's
those
their
ones.
cleanup. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is the
thank you.
cleanup. Okay. So these are kind of the turnaround, the orthographic turnaround. So you just want to make sure that, yeah, if you take the side view of
Okay.
him and flip him. So,
Okay. This was interesting to me because I feel like King of the Hill is like has very realistic proportions, but it's still within like kind of cartoon, like
mhm.
adult style. But I like that you kind of pushed it to be more cartoony than it really is. Was that intentional?
Yes, thank you.
Because everybody kind of went more realistic, right? And then I like that you went more cartoony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think what you could do is exaggerate the cartooniness of it a bit more, right? So like if you're gonna have those like very graphic like square eyes with the glasses, like do we want to find like a bit more volume within that? Do we want to exaggerate his belly a bit more than that? Do we want to maybe have like tiny hands and tiny feet, or do you want to have big hands and big feet? When you get more cartoony, the freedom of that is that you can like really exaggerate like shapes and proportions and to
Hmm.
make it playful, right? So you
Yeah.
can just take this and push it even more. Like make it maybe the belly really big and then like the legs just taper as a triangle, like all the way to tiny feet, you know?
Uh-huh.
Just play with shapes and exaggerate shapes even more and get it to some place unique to you, what feels fun and unique to you. And
Okay.
that kind of like helps the design like move forward instead of just being like, okay, I feel like right now he's trying to be cartoony with like still very like balanced proportions that are too close to reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you want to go cartoony, go more extreme shapes, more like fun proportions instead of like keeping the same like idea of like one like seven heads, make the body or whatever. People say when they draw like very realistic things.
Yeah. And like
I,
his also his you get those if you're doing something with his glasses, I mean they can change shapes too. If you're gonna go
yeah,
cartoony, you can do that. So like if you want to if he's angry, he could look like that. If he's like kind of
yeah,
like, oh, because if you just have him the same thing throughout, it's really hard
Uh-huh.
to get him,
I I
emotions,
think
yeah,
yeah.
I did that in some of my expressions,
Uh-huh.
but not in these ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's
I'll make
just
a note
like
of
you
that.
said, just push it even more. Just, push the shapes more so he's, if he's got a big belly, really make him a real pot belly guy, and
yeah,
he's got like skinny legs like the Grinch kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then, you can still have you can still have those windows, giant things for eyes.
Yeah.
and I think it's a fun exercise too to just see
Yeah.
how he will look like if it was like very cartoony.
Hmm.
Hey man, what are you doing there? I'll put my hands in my pocket, sure. Uh, well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and well, sometimes that's when you start to finalize it and you go, yeah, I could push this more, and yeah, maybe do that. And then you're not locked into trying to get it super realistic, or super real as opposed to cartoony. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so I'm gonna jump down here as fast as I can, speed of light, look at me go. All right, and then we'll go to Daniel. So here's Daniel's. Let's see, I wonder if I could just do that there. I wonder if I can do this, no? That doesn't work. Okay, so this is Pinocchio. We're back to Geppetto here. He's got a bald spot right there. That's what that's not a potato. That's a
Yeah, male pattern baldness.
yeah, you can actually count how many hairs are missing. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Uh
fun.
okay, let me just jump back. Oh gosh. Come on. Photoshop, give me a break, will you? There we go. Okay, I can hold it down now. Oh, look at me fly. All right. So we got that one. We got this one. So
Cute.
these are action poses there. Okay. Back down again. Let's see. Yeah, then we got this one. Expressions. Okay. Right.
I think that's very fun how like you made it again, like when the more cartoony route.
Mm.
Uh, and I think like in terms of presentations, I think you are like doing very well in terms of presentation. Nothing feels like it's too like big on the page. Nothing feels like it's creating too much of a
Oh yeah.
tangent. Everything feels like I like that you kept the text very small and like minimal
Mhm.
and like you see how like that makes your eye just look at your drawing instead of
Mhm.
just straight like directly going to like what the text indicates. It's just want to see the drawing first. That should be what strikes people the most, right? That you're
Yeah.
doing a really good job with presentations.
Thank you. Thank you. I've
Um,
been doing this kind of stuff for years.
so
Yeah.
Real
like
pro there.
that's good. And
Yeah.
then in terms of the design, like I think in the poses it kind of got lost a little bit with the model. It just doesn't feel that to a model.
Mm.
Especially in the back view. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened with his butt cheek right there. It seems like something
I
kind of broke, like his hip.
I think he's going, ah,
Yeah, his hip
my
Yeah.
kind of
back.
got displaced, right?
Yeah, he's a very broken old man.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It just you can play with the volumes a bit more to make sure it doesn't look like his
Okay.
hip got all the way
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Thrown
the
out of
top of his
whack.
torso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun. I like how cartoony it is.
Oh, thank you.
there's some lines like you can like edit to make it again, give it more volume, like the same feedback I give to like previous another character. Yeah, exactly. Like something like that, just to keep, the skeleton. When you draw it, draw the skeleton first and then draw on top of it and kind of
Okay.
make sure that the skeleton, make sure that the proportions and like the volumes feel good, and then draw on top of that like the shapes and the design that you have for
Hmm.
your character.
Yeah.
So it's always super helpful
Okay.
to have like that structure underneath, and you can just follow that guide.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's just like in the expression sheet, you stay on model and close to the original design. And then in the posing, you got lost a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, one of the
Yeah,
things
you can
that,
fix that up. Yeah.
yeah, and push it, right? Push the proportions a bit more.
Okay.
Um, and then yeah, and the only thing that I'll just again, just something that I'm always try to like be very mindful of is like giving everything room, right? So right now there's a lot of things happening with the face. You have big eyebrows. You have a hairline that's very close, right? It's touching
Yeah.
very close to the eyebrows. And then so that sometimes is hard for animators because when we make an expression, let's say he gets really excited and his eyebrows get up, then how is that going to interact with the hairline if the hairline is very,
Okay.
very close to it, right? Think about those
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Um, so also like the placement of the glasses. I think glasses sometimes are I in the beginning when you're learning, I tend to stay away with glass from glasses because it's really hard to like draw the glasses in a way that they feel like they're just sitting, on top of the
Yeah.
nose. And it's hard to give them space. And it's hard to have the space for them within the face that doesn't really collide with what's happening with the eyes or the eyebrows, right?
Okay.
It's hard to kind of make them uh not kind of mergent, kind of like it's like inside of the
Oh,
face.
okay.
So just play with like yeah, kind of like with what sketch that you've made, like
Right.
that's really good. Keeping the design, but also keeping the volumes, everything reads like more volumetric that way, and it's still keeping those fun shapes that you have on the beer. It's very cartoony, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like cheating it. So like it still gives volume, but it's flat, you know? There's ways
Yeah.
to balance things out to trick your eye to do those things. So you just have to play with that. But it's
Yeah.
overall like it's really fun to look at. I really like how he looks there. Like for those angles and like the pointed shapes that he's not that good of a guy. Something's up with
Mm-hmm.
him. He
Mm-hmm.
looks like an old drunk,
Yeah.
like so
That's good. Yeah.
I
there's a
used
lot of
both the
good things.
script. I used both the script and the original story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those things are written very well. It's just,
Yeah.
making sure that proportions like and shapes are like working well. And
Mm-hmm.
but overall, you did a really good job. It's just
Oh, thank you.
it's very unique. It's like something that only you could have drawn, probably.
Yeah.
Like, and I like that. I like to see something that's different and unique.
Oh, thanks.
Good. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go back. And, all right. Hope that was helpful. All right. So going back. Okay, and then we got Leona here. Okay. Here's the Leonas. Hold on. Here.
I
So
love that
Professor,
name.
what's that?
Professor,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but I think you skipped over me again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, there's no real order. I'm just still
not again.
not again.
Jim, you can't skip over
Oh,
the
you know
same
Kelly's. I'm
student.
always skipping over her. That's just something that's a hobby of mine. No, I think it's in here. I'm hoping it's at the let's let's see. I'm just gonna skip
Oh, I
ahead
see it.
here.
I see it. No, you passed it.
You see it? No, that's Jesse.
No, it's
That's
right there. It's over there. It's like
It's right
it's on
oh,
top.
I'm sorry. You're right. Okay. Doggone it. I would have gotten away too if you were no, it was meddling. Okay, so anyway, here. Sorry, Kelly's. I don't know why I zipped past you. All right. So this is Kingpin. I think that's the first one, right? That the first one? I hate this.
Is this Kingpin
Uh,
from
yeah.
Daredevil?
Yeah, this is from the Spider-Verse. So this isn't
Spider-Verse? Okay.
this was the other script we had.
The other
So
Kingpin.
yeah, so this is Kingpin looking like that. And come on. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Let's see if I there we go. Okay. Just hold that thought. All right. And then here's some expressions. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
That angry one is really angry. I really like how pushed
Yeah.
it is. I think in
So
terms of presentation, it kept like again, you need to make everything a bit smaller and like let it breathe and like don't get the text too close, to the characters, like it creating the tensions again. But overall, like I really like the tire phase. I don't think that's tire. It's like choking on problems. Like it's really
that's a poison face, I think. He's like, ah.
it's really good, but I don't think it's necessarily giving tire.
Yeah.
Uh, but I love it. And then the angry face, I like how you drew the teeth and the tongue and like it's really I can feel his anger. Like let's
Oh
just say
yeah.
that. Then the
Thank you.
happy you go
It
ahead.
was really hard to do the tired expression.
But
Yeah.
you
I don't
did
know.
good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You did good.
So
I like the sad.
so
Like
when you're doing expressions, I've been telling them that sometimes if you can use the hands, is that a good way to show
yeah,
something? Or it's
yeah.
not like you just say, no, it has to be your face and that's it,
I
you
mean,
know?
it's good to show the hands, but I believe like it's better to show the hands in the posing. Like it's good to
Mhm.
show hands and the expression sometimes, but if you check on like a lot of reference or like other like studios sometimes making the they make the expression sheet for the modeler to exaggerate like the proportions of the face, right? How is
Yeah.
that mouth gonna open? How wide is it going to be? How tall are we going to raise the eyebrows? How squished are we going to make the face? Like we're going to squish the face to when he's like grumpy or scrunching, like all those details. It's more so to kind of like indicate to the modeler and the animator what's the extreme, what's the limit. So most of the times we don't see hands in the
Mhm.
expressions,
Mhm.
but we do use hands and gesture when we do the poses, right? So like
Yeah.
adding like a lot of like movement in the hands indicate like better gestures. So and that's sometimes hard because we always trying to like push the shape, push the line of action. And the
Right.
hands are always the last thing we think of, but they always help a lot when you're trying to like convey an expression of like some the sentiment. Like the hands always help. So I use them more with for the expressions, the expression sheet instead of in the posing sheet instead of the expression sheet.
Yeah. Okay. And this would be the front back view. So okay.
I think it got a bit lost again, like it's like got off model like a little bit
Mhm.
in the face.
Yeah. It's also his face his mouth just kind of takes off there,
Yeah,
maybe just, just have him have that and then have his, his rest of his face,
yeah.
you know, like so he's looking
Also
that
one
way.
thing that helps too that I've noticed a lot of you are doing is that you guys are drawing like the jawline all
Mm,
the way to the ear. And
yeah.
sometimes that cuts it off in a weird way. If you leave like a space, like if you just draw, let's say we draw like my cheek right here, right? We draw my cheek and then my jawline. sometimes see how this gets blurry here, but when we have
Mhm.
more contrast right here of the shadow, like this creates a line, and then we can just ditch this part of that line and not connect it, and that will give you the volume without giving you that like cut, like
Right.
separation from head, neck, and body, you know?
Right.
Just that little detail helps a lot.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so you don't have to connect. You could thin it out even. So it feels
Yeah.
like it's going away. Okay. All right. So let me go get some more here. So thanks
Overall,
for,
really cool drawings. I think that you took
yeah.
it like this different than everybody else's, and you took it in a different direction I really like. And I
Good.
think so far these are probably my favorite expressions that I've seen today. So really good job on like those that acting.
Okay. I'm gonna run all the way back here. I'm gonna go working my way up. So this is Malik. So this is from Soul. So this is a character design of three-quarter view. So this would be, I guess this is the front and back view of there's a captain, ship's captain that's in this thing. And so I think Malik took two of these
So
characters, but I
moon
think this might just be the first one.
moon
Oh. So now,
some.
Soul, yeah. You go back. All right.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still. Hopefully you're not seeing all this stuff, but you probably are. Okay, and then we got this one. So this is the captain in different action poses. Okay. And
I was absolutely convinced I did not make it in here.
oh
Oh.
no, you're there. Last possible second, but I got you.
So
Just want to make
just
sure I
to
got
make sure,
everybody. Yeah.
this is Moonwind when he is in the soul land or like where he's
Yeah,
not human, right?
right. He's a ship's captain here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a ship cap. I think he's a ship captain in the movie where like they're navigating towards these feelings, right?
Right. And this is this section of the film that he
Yeah.
took this character from. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Go back again.
I wanted to also submit Jerry, but I didn't have the time to finish his redesign.
Okay. We'll get this one in here. So there. Okay, so it does pop up over here. Oh, good, good. Okay. Yeah, so this is the orthographic view, side view, back view. Okay, I think I can now just kind of go like this. Yay, I can do that. All right. All right. So I don't have to go scrolling back and forth. Okay. There we go.
Hey Jim, just one question. Like the class ends at what time exactly? So just to make sure
Uh
we can.
yeah, it's what is
Around 20 minutes.
Okay, so it
yeah,
ends at 5. Just want to make sure
yeah,
that we have,
yeah. Yeah,
time
oh
to like
yeah. I
answer
might
questions and like.
right. Okay, yeah, I'll try to go forward, but is there anything you want to talk about this one at all, or we can move on
I
or
think
whatever?
for this one, the only thing I will say is like I wish you kind of took it more like into a more unique route. Like everyone, try to like if it was too cartoony, they try to go realistic. If it was realistic, they try to cartoony to stay away from the original. I feel like I would have liked to like see a bit more like of that here, like just to push it a bit farther on what your unique point of view was about it instead of saying I think it got too close still to the original version, which I don't mind. It's fun practice, but in the exercise, it feels like it could have been a little bit more extreme, like the change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would like to note I have never actually watched Soul, and I did not know this character existed until I read the script. And I
Mm.
purposefully did not seek out images of them. So if this is close to the movie, uh, I don't know how that happened.
Ah, okay.
Well,
I probably
sometimes when the
Great.
script, yeah, it means the
That's
script is
great.
good with
Yeah.
descriptions too, because if you read it from the script, it means that the script has really good descriptions of how she should look like, and that's great. You're envisioning it like close to what the original character design did it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. You got to, so it is original. So it's not like you're fighting to try to, you know, hit the other
Well,
things. So,
I thought this was a greater divergence because I was using design philosophies from I say design philosophies, my interpretation of design philosophies from stuff like Paper Mario. I thought this was wildly divergent.
wow. Okay. All right. I'm just setting this up for the next
That
one
makes
here.
sense.
All right, I'll fade back into the ether now.
No, you're good. We can
No,
keep
you're all
chatting.
right.
I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like I like that you said that about your process because if you don't tell me then like how would I know? And I really love that version of him because in the movie he's a normal human, like very very like
Hmm.
California like type of guy, like a coastal crazy dude, that's on the
Hmm.
street. And then when he goes to the soul world, he turns into this very cute tiny proportions, big head, more like a chibi kind of style character. And then that's why I was like, oh, you went also kind of in the chibi, cute, short, cartoony proportions way, which is fine.
Originally, I actually didn't want to do that and tried to make him more proportional to like your average human, but it turns out that's not very fun to draw. And in not having fun, my work was suffering. So I decided to give him a design that was more fun to draw. And it turns out I forgot about how all the souls in the movie are chibi and accidentally reproduced that. Whoops.
That's fun. No worries. I understand the sentiment of drawing like something more realistic can be less fun. I agree with that. Um, that's
So,
okay. This is really funny,
yeah.
by the way. Like
So,
this Spider-Man.
so yeah, this is a Spider-Man that's supposed to be in the universe. Kevin, if you want to explain it, I think that's what it is
Is
so
it Peter
far.
Parker when he's like depressed?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Peter B. Parker.
Hmm.
So like the second universe Peter Parker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can tell. It's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Why is it so small?
Oh, I
Okay.
like that in the back view you did the feet pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, right there.
Good
That looks
job.
good. Yeah. That's the one we were talking about. All right. I gotta get through all these guys. So I've got like a few
How
more.
many do we
Oh,
have left?
I think we've got three. It looks like we
Okay.
got three. So, okay. So I'm gonna go with Sammy. This is Sammy's. So this is also the Peter in the same, Spider-Verse. This is the uncle. So she
Okay.
did this kind of interpretation.
That's fun.
I'm sorry, this is like so painful to get through here. Maybe I can jump into something else. Let's see. How can I do this? All right. Yeah, it's gonna take forever. So these are the action poses here.
Okay, I love these. These are so fun. Like I think like there's just a couple details in the hands that I would tweak. Like
Mm-hmm.
some fingers that look off and like maybe I would just stretch like some of the hands a little bit more like in the first pose. But other than that, everything feels really good and it's fun and I like how push the poses are. I like how it's like action poses. They look very active. They look like they have a lot of movement. I like that this character looks like on model for most of the poses. Like the hair has a lot of movement and the expressions are also really fun. I
Yeah,
think
this
there's
is
something
good.
about the expressions like you can push things a bit more, right? Like maybe if like squish the head because you know how like when we make faces like our face doesn't stay the same size if we stretch our jaw like then the whole face gets elongated and if we squeeze it then like it gets smaller so maybe play a little bit more with like how that looks like it's stretching like that head a bit more since
I really struggle with the expressions. I had a really hard time moving his face, and putting his face in different like expressions and stuff like that. Do you have any like tips or tricks for helping like exercises with that and making sure
yeah.
you kind of like know your
So
character?
I think the easiest way to do that is again to have like a basic structure of what the volumes of the face are, and then draw very simplistically expressions on that base, and then build on top of that, right? So like if you want to go for like very extreme, like wide mouth open, go for like just draw a circle and like stretch it, and then see how the mouth interacts with the eyes and the nose and like the overall shape of the head. And then once you have a solid like base drawing, go and draw all the details of your character on top of that and see how that interacts with it, right? And you can cheat it and like tweak things to make it more appealing and like to make it work better. But I think overall you have a good sense of shape, language, and like um the characters don't feel like they're gonna fall off. They feel like they're very grounded on the floor, like they are moving well, and like
Thank you.
there's not a lot of tangents or anything. Like everything's kind of like well designed and like well balanced. So I
Thank you.
really like that. And yeah, it's just if you struggle with something, again, put it to the side and then draw different versions of that, and it should be
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Thank
Okay.
Does
you.
that help?
Yeah, I feel like that helps.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
No
Okay.
worries.
Can you see this new
Yeah,
drawing that's moving
yeah, I
around?
can see it.
Okay. So yeah, so this is Caroline. So she doing the father from oh, this is Geppetto. I'm sorry. So this is Geppetto, kind of a three-quarter turn, and then this gets gigantic. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. There we go. There we go. So there we go. Whoops. Okay. So something like that. So here, yeah. So now I can see the book better. Is the action poses here? Looks like he's
That
gonna hit.
booty is just really funny. The little booty that you draw, that's killing me.
It looks like you're gonna chop that guy on the stool, and the other guy's going to do it.
I kind of like it in the sense of it feels like it could be like a doll that it's been like a vintage doll from like one of the first toys that people made that they were just stitching things, and like the belly feels very like if it was one of those dolls where they stitched the part of the belly right here to make it
All
pop
right.
even more with the filling, you know?
Oh.
And I kind of like that vibe. It's kind of cool to see like I don't know, I guess I envision like a whole like universe with
Mm-hmm.
this look, which I really like. And it's just fun. Like it's just different. I think the expressions again, like it's they're interesting and they're like I love the bottom right one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and but the one in the middle, I think you're trying to turn it, it kind of lost its volume.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why like Jim suggests that you guys try not to do too much of a front view because then that's really hard to like keep the volumes right.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's like fun. You just have to remember to try to keep the volume when you're trying to turn it a bit more. But the
Mm-hmm.
expressions are fun. I will just add like a really happy one if he ever gets happy, or like maybe the wide open mouth, just stretch it a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much it.
Okay. We got this one, and then these two. So yeah, so if you can somehow combine these two drawings so they're side by side and not up and down, just so when you put it on this template, it doesn't get lost. Uh, here's some more expressions here.
Mm-hmm.
So using the hands here and
That's a good.
yeah. So okay. All right. So how
Good job.
much?
Overall, it looks like a stale model. There's some little details you can change, but overall, a fun exercise, fun
Yeah.
character.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then this was, I don't know if you can you see that one? Did it change? No?
It changed. Yeah,
It
it
did.
changed.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. This is Jesse Martinez.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of the front view, back view. Again, we're really kind of on one side of the drawing there. So you could, move them a little more in the center, give them a little space in between each other. Maybe this was actually the first one you did, I forget. And then we got action pose, sitting, and then walking away. And then we're working on the facial expressions. And then this is more of the, orthographic view, front view, side view, back view. Just want to do the other side, just so you have it. And then this one, okay. So this has the lines, this doesn't have lines, I guess. So it's okay to have lines slightly in there. And then there's that. Okay. So just add a little bit more. I just thought this ear looked very strange to me, like it's
too close.
going the other direction. It's like the opening of the ear is like, it's like almost like you put the ear
like it's backwards.
Yeah, like it's facing that way. So maybe that's why she looks so mad. She's angry because her ears are turned like that. But yeah, there's something that you could fix there. And then just always try to, not make the head go in always the same direction. This variety's good. And anything you want to add, Melody,
Yeah, I know that you're trying to like save time by like, grabbing the head and like copying it and changing the inside of it. But sometimes I just like it's not very appealing or it doesn't indicate that you like gave the assignment the task like the time that it should have been giving. So just try to like move it, like flip it and then work on top of it to like you can also save time but then add to it a little bit more than just redrawing the inside of the face. Because things happen, in the head that stretches and it's never just the inside that moves. So keep that in mind. And then in the expressions, I like that like the expression was just like walking away with the backs. That's really good. And she's like touching her head. It's like those are good poses. I think it's just again trying to keep everything on model. Like maybe the face got a little off model, and again the ear. It looks like a piece of hair in that pose. But overall it looks good. I think for cleanup, I would just try to avoid the shading too much on the pants. And if you're gonna do shading, just like there's one drawing that you did that is really good where it has like the shading of the underneath the jaw, the shading of like some areas, and it's well balanced. But there's another drawing in the turnaround where it's like too much shading on just the pants, and that just creates like a little like not tension, but like it doesn't really look very like finished, like a clean drawing. Wait, sorry, the sun is like
I saw that.
He's moving a lot and it's just following my face and I'm trying to
Daylight
stay away.
time.
Okay, I think this should be better.
All right, that's better. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Is that everybody?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't get you, I'm sorry. We kind of run out of time.
Okay.
But I think I did have some other questions that I think I sent you. If you want to look at those and send me the answers, I'll be glad to forward them to whoever. I did put the names of everybody on those questions that I got. So,
I don't mind staying like 10 more minutes and answering more questions. That's okay with everybody. I don't mind staying 10 more minutes. I also want to I made like specific slide for you guys. That's a tip. So
we can do that.
So I can show you that and then like we can do a couple questions and then I can answer some more questions on the email. Does that sound good to everybody? I know everybody's busy, so I don't want to, keep you all
thumbs up. We
stuck
got some thumbs up there popping up. Yeah, I think they want to see it.
Okay, great. So I'll share my screen for just a quick sec, just to show you this slide because I feel like this helped me so much when I was starting, and I feel like it will help you guys a lot too. So, okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is pretty much like a slide I made for you guys that will help you when starting like an assignment like this. That helps me so much when I'm doing something for myself or doing something that doesn't have like very specific guidelines and I have more freedom. I think it's really fun to see like kind of like the spectrum of how characters can be like it can be within style and age gaps. So I made this graphic for you guys to kind of like help yourself visualize where you want to go, right? So like we talked in the beginning how we have to like um make our portfolio or target it to the studio or the type of work that we want to get. And so I want you guys to think about that first before you start creating anything for a portfolio. I want you to think, where do I want to work at and what kind of work I want to do for the majority of my career. Like I want to focus on this specific style of work or this specific studio style or like let's say you want to work in games, you want to focus in games and like what kind of game you want to do. You want to work on like mobile games or like Blizzard like kind of games. Like there's a huge range of things that we can focus on. I want you to think about where you want to work at and focus on that, right? And so this graphic will help you into like understanding like the target audience for each project. So like from here to here, from like point 1 to like point 6, I think like there's like a very clear path of like what kind of audience this is. Same as like if we draw like this kind of characters, I feel like it can also be more like this and then this and then these is like a very specific each. So I feel like this is like could be more junior work where like it's targeted to like babies and like very tiny children. And then this from 4 to 6 it's more like young adult. So that's called YA in the animation industry. So you hear YA, YA, what does YA mean? It means young adult target audience. And then here it's more like mature or adult. And it's like that you can see how like the style changes, right? We have something that's a stick figure, like we start drawing like this, and then you can draw like very, very cute, like simple images, simple shapes, and go all the way to like something very realistic. So you want to kind of figure out which pocket you want to focus on and get really good at that. And once you get really good at that, also experiment of like maybe in this pocket. I got really good at YA, right? And then okay, I started drawing a lot of things that fit that target, but then maybe you found work like for junior shows. So it's like, okay, from here, it's easy to go back here. But what is hard is to go from here all the way here to like very realistic. So what school teaches us, okay, learn how to draw something very realistic and work your way all the way to ditto, right? And that helps because it's just creating a base of design for yourself and then simplifying things as you go. But just it's a good way to like visualize it to me. It really helped me in the beginning to see where I wanted to like stand, right? I wanted to like live pretty much in this universe right here. I wanted to live right here, right here. I wanted to be at. So it's like a very wide spectrum, but at least I knew like where like how to what to focus on pretty much instead of just having infinite options because I think infinite options for people like me is very anxiety inducing. So narrowing things down, making clear choices and keeping it like very simple for myself always help. So does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have, can I interrupt really quickly?
Yeah,
You forgot Leona.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. All right, there it is. Yeah. So this was her first one there.
Just the toes are cracking me up.
Yeah, we had questions about the
She's doing
toes.
this She's doing that with that little foot.
Yeah. Okay, and then, oh yeah. Oh, there it is. I can do that one. Ah, there we go. Okay. So this was like, yeah, the mother, this is the other mother. This is the evil. Well, we find out
The,
she's evil later.
the evil version of the mom.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you so far that you kept the volume of her really well. Like she looks like she's a model the whole time. It doesn't feel like
Mm-hmm.
there's another character. I think there's just some details that you need to refine, like some hands like look a bit off, like some fingers look a bit off. Maybe you can play with her hair a bit more to give it maybe like it just looks like it's just very flat, and then the rest of her looks like she has more volume. So I think like maybe like redrawing her hair a bit more to fit the rest of her body will make her feel a bit more appealing and cohesive. Uh, I think the side view, everything in the torrent looks good, other than again, like we're losing a lot of volume, you guys, with the skull. Like the skull, the back of the skull is non-existent in your brain. It's making me worry. It's missing. It's
Yeah.
missing. So we
Maybe
have
more
to work on
body.
making, yeah, more volume in the head, and then everything else it just looks good. I think maybe you could have play a bit more with the outfits. Some others like make things very simple. So I feel like playing with like volumes with skirts and like shirts and like clothing also helps make your character a bit more interesting. So maybe you can do that. Um Yeah, I do like that you did like the bottom eyes and then you have like one button in the middle as a buckle, like a belt buckle. I think
Yeah,
that's
looks
kind
like
of
she's
cool.
got like she's got needles or something for eyelashes kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
But see how like everything looks like very like cohesive. Like all the design, like all the drawings have the same volume. They look like the same person, and that's pretty good. So good job on that.
Thank you so much.
No
All
worries.
right.
I love your
Yeah.
name, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want to get Leona mad at me. It's no
No worries.
way. She's
We can
mess
ask
with
like
her.
we can do like let's do like 3 questions maybe since we went
Okay.
over 20 minutes.
Yeah. Douglas got his hand up first. So go ahead, Douglas,
Okay.
if you have a question.
I just want to see if I could still share mine. I already have mine set up. It'll just be a few minutes if you guys don't mind. Is that still possible?
I'll give it to Melody if you want to do that. You're not in my class, but that's why
I
I
Okay.
wanted
think
to
we
make
could
sure. Yeah.
maybe just
Yeah.
like text like send me like an email and then I'll respond to you like within the
Okay.
time because we already went over like 20 minutes and I want
Yeah.
to give more time to
Okay.
Yeah. So
like
Phoenix, I mean,
answer some
sorry,
questions.
Douglas, if you want to send it to me, email it to
Okay.
me, I'll be glad to send it to her. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. It's
No
Phoenix, by the way.
problem.
No
Oh, it's
worries.
Phoenix.
It's
Okay.
Phoenix. Thank you.
All right. Well, it could be Douglas Phoenix. That sounds pretty cool too. All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, Phoenix. All right. Yeah. Anybody have a question? You want to shout it out there? Somebody. Oh, Sammy's got one. Okay. So, Sammy, what's your question?
Yeah, this is the question I asked in the discussion as well, but I thought now that she's here, I'll ask it. How do
Sure.
you balance character design with doing like semi more realism work? Or how would you do that if you
What do
had
you mean?
like with character design, how do you keep that like design aspect of it without getting too focused on like making it realistic and just a person? How do you still make
Oh,
them stand
I see what you mean. You mean like
out?
how do you draw within that spectrum of the graphic that I just showed you?
Yeah.
How do you stay away from the realistic proportions and the way that you just used to drawing? Because I feel like we just all kind of start drawing like from reference and our own bodies and reality, and then we move, more towards the cartoony way. I think that's a good question. I think it's just the way you do it is with experimenting and like uh, looking at reference of other cartoony examples that there are there, some things that are like very like good to look at are like I forget the UPA. Have you ever heard of UPA?
Yeah, UPA Studios.
Hmm.
Yeah, they did a
So
real simple characters. Yeah.
So UPA is like I think the best reference of something really cartoony, and it's what like most of us use as like the base of what cartoon style, like a cartoony style is. And a lot of like all the designs and a lot of shows that we see out there are always like using UPA as reference because they're incredible. So the best way you can do is like you can just exaggerate proportions whenever you're sketching. So let's say I always keep a sketchbook with me. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I recommend you guys do it and go out and sketch on coffee shops with your friends, things that you see at your house, and push proportions. That's the best way to do it. If you know, like a body is made out of what? Out of a head, torso, legs, and arms, just make the arms play with the proportions. Make the arms tiny. Make the legs tiny. Make the torso big. Make the head big. Just play with it. And same with the face. Like you can play with the proportions of the face a lot. You can make the eyes huge or you can make them really tiny. You can have a huge nose. You can have a tiny nose. And then all those things, proportion is what makes a character like not feel too realistic, right? So if you see that graphic that I show you, everything is kind of like that uh same ratio of like 7 heads or something. It's like you draw the head and then you draw all those lines and then count 7 heads until you get the proportion of the body. I think that's the traditional way of like when you start learning how to draw a body. But instead of following that, make the proportions small, medium, and large and play with how they interact with each other. And that's how you start creating like more cartoony and more different styles and within the character. It could be a person, it could be animals, it could be creatures, but that's how you get there. Just shapes and proportions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does. Thank you.
Anyone else?
One more. Okay, we got Sharon.
So I asked this in the discussion too, but um, what do recruiters tend to look at when it comes to character design or visual development? Like, what do they want to see the most in our portfolios?
Okay, so recruiters are like a hard topic to talk to because it depends of what kind of recruiter you're interacting with. It depends if the recruiter is an artist. It depends if the recruiter is not an artist. It depends so if the studio told the recruiter what they were looking for a specific thing. It depends if the recruiter has talked to like a specific production designer or an art director and said, okay, the art director told this recruiter we're looking for this, we're looking for that. It depends. So overall, recruiters are not really entangled with like the production that they're like trying to get you to work with. They're like more of like someone who sees something uh, in general, right? Like someone that just thinks, oh, this person looks like fits the style of the studio in general, and it has a degree, it went to the school. These are the things I see. Okay, they went to Colors or Art Center or Cal State University, and they see that, right? Okay, qualify in that sense, and then they check on your portfolio. Oh, they have a website. Oh, they send a PDF. They're kind of like filter through like a lot of applications. There are like people that are not qualified just for the simple fact that they are not artists and they just apply. You have no idea how many people that never study character design apply to these things. People that draw at home and think they're good and then will send their work to the recruiter, right? So they filter all those people and they send the more qualified people for the job. But then the art director and the production designer is who you need to focus, right? Those are the people that make the decision of hiring you. Those are the people that know exactly what they're doing. They have developed the entire look for the show or the movie, and they know what they're looking for in a character designer or a vista artist. They know who will be will be a good fit. So it's really hard to tailor everything into like a specific like studio because you want to, have as many doors open as possible instead of just like one. If you focus on just working for Disney, it's really hard to not work for anybody else than just for Disney. So I think having a wide like spectrum of work and like show them that you can do a lot of things and you can be useful for a lot of different styles of shows, it's really helpful. So what can you have in your portfolio that will make a recruiter be like, oh, they're perfect for this? Is by making clear choices, having a very specific website or a PDF. Someone asked on the questions like if it was better to have a website portfolio or a PDF portfolio and submit that. I believe it's good to have both. If you have a website, it just makes things really easy for people that are moving around and they can be on their phone and they can just look at it instead of like downloading a PDF, on their phone and then just checking on it. It just makes things a bit easier for people and they don't have much time to review any of these things. So as simple and straightforward you can make your portfolio, it's like best. So that's the first thing. And then what in the content of your portfolio, you want to show that you can do the job. That's basically it. If you're going to do character design, you want to show that you're the best character designer for this job. You want to show that you can draw the set character in any angle as possible. You can show that like you can turn it. You can show that you can do expressions. You have to put all these things within the portfolio and also pick your best work. You don't want to have a bunch of clutter. Pick like I don't know, like 20 pieces to 30 pieces of work that are very solid and then have them there. I'll say 20, 30 sounds like a lot. Although I have more than 30 on my website right now, but it's because it's like all grouped by like projects or whatever. But like if you're just starting and it's just your own thing, on my personal tab, I just keep it to less than 20 to make things easy and simple. And it's like, okay, this year I want to focus on getting this type of work. And then I just edit it, like, and refresh it every year. So there's something new. Because mind you, when you do this for this long, I have talked to the same recruiter, to the same studio for like 10 years. And every time you have to have something at least new or intriguing because if not, they just say, oh, Melany has the portfolio from 2011. Great. How is that going to compete with how things have been,
Yeah.
So you always have to keep updating things and making your work relevant to whatever is getting done today, which is hard because those things are unannounced and you don't know what they are, how they look like, but just, keep with the times and just refresh your work and keep it very easy for them to review. And that's what they look for pretty much because a lot of them, they're not artists and they don't have like too much knowledge of what is needed for that specific job. That just then gets handed to the art director and the people inside the crew. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it was really helpful, all the information. Thank you so much.
I know I can just like
Great.
say a lot of information. There's so
Yeah.
much information. I just want to give you all of it as much as I can. Just there's so much of it, and there's so many things to take into consideration. And also, you guys don't get discouraged. And I think the best skill to have in this business is to just believe in yourself and like always try to keep learning like new things. Do not get stuck on your ways. Always push yourself. Always like learn how to make things in a different way. Always like be stubborn and believe in yourself because it is ruthless out there. It is brutal. It's really hard to get rejected. It's really hard to like apply for like 200 jobs and get 200 rejection emails. It's really hard, but you just have to keep going and keep like putting your work out there and you will find clients in the most random ways. You'll see. Like you might post like some sketch that you don't like on Twitter or like X or anywhere, Threads. And then someone will be like, I love that. You want to do this project with me? And they'll pay you $1 million. It can happen, So it's just the way the internet works these days. So just, have to be stubborn and keep doing your thing and keep learning.